go.
I'll go over there and quietly wait for Facebook to catch up to me if they haven't banned me yet.
I don't feel any more live. Are we live?
Yeah.
You don't feel any more live?
No, Fitz.
Let me check. I haven't got that notice yet. It does say Facebook says we're live now, though.
Oh, yeah, Facebook lies.
As usual. Here we go. The wonders of Google.
Yeah.
It'll go off like 5 minutes in or so.
Yeah. I did that the other night. I was watching a show live and
Just went off.
And I realized that where I was at on YouTube was way behind where they were at on Facebook. There was something weird going on, and I was like, wow. I mean, it was like way back on YouTube. It was like, but the comments were still going in real time. It was a weird thing.
You just weren't getting through the strainer fast enough. They were rolling the algos and trying to find you saying the wrong word or something. So
yeah. Hello,
you're off of YouTube.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing out there? This is good old Indie Vault. We're gonna have a really different type of show for you tonight. We've got a couple people in that you haven't seen, some new guests. We got a couple of new bells and whistles we're gonna be showing off tonight too.
You've got a whistle.
Yeah. And hopefully everything works out like it's supposed to. If it doesn't,
I'm thinking about getting one of them slide whistles.
How'd I get down here in the bottom right?
Lola moving people around. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll the intro and we will get right into the show. Here we go. Right. Hit it now.
Hold your ears.
Well, if I had it queued up, I do.
If you had it queued up, you need it. Shoot. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Indie Vault Media, LLC, and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised.
It is so advised because we get in trouble on this show. We say things that upset people. Hello, everybody out there. My name is Varian Grant. I am the founder of Indie Vault Media, LLC. Started making comic books myself back in 2008. I am a father, a husband, a geek, a comic book artist, writer, publisher, reluctant taxpayer, all these horrible things.
So you forgot to add one.
Oh, what was it? What was it gonna?
You'll feel the shoe any minute.
Something, man.
Oh, yeah. The other day I was called by a fan Negro Man. So I'm going to add that in. Yeah, he said
you need a cartoon for that?
He asked about the Negro Man in the coonskin cap, and I'm like, the Negro Man, but he's not from America. Like it's not his. Yeah. So yeah, Negro. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Indie Vault Live Wire. I'm joined as always by the Indie Princess Lola. Hello.
Hi, I am the Indie Princess, and I am the host of Geekgasm, which you can catch every Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
Very good, very good. And Mr. Zimmerman, how are you?
I'm all right. Hey, everybody. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I do alternative and independent comics. Right now, my specialty is commercial, cartooning for commercial work and advertising for advertising and educational purposes. I also do the Zim Geek channel whenever I have enough time to stick a video up there over on YouTube, ZIMMGEEK. And I also host the Sunday Funnies program here on the Indie Vault Radio Network, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., where we talk about the more lighthearted and whimsical side of comics.
Cool. And now, Dreaded Dinosaurs here this week, filling in for Peter Cimetti, apparently.
I had a dark blue hat on, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to cosplay Randy tonight.
Yeah.
So I'll cosplay Peter.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
My name is Eric Hodson. I am at Dreaded Dinosaur on all those social medias for now. And I'm also the host of It Came From Webtoon, Monday nights at 9 here on the Indie Vault Radio, Indie Vault Network, and creator of Dreaded Dinosaur Man, which you can read for free on Webtoon, coming soon to Indiegogo as a full-length comic book. Plus, you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees and check out Roddy Piper, the Kilted Avenger, another book that I just recently completed and purchased that there. Hello.
Cool. Imperial Vol in the chat says, "Hey yo, Indie Vultures." Hello, Imperial. Matthew Thornton, what up? Hey, Matthew, how's it going?
What up, Matthew?
Edwin Acevedo's his book, The Ace launches January 31st.
I think he has a book launching.
Hail, Edwin. Hail.
Hail, Edwin.
Hey, kids, says Grandpa's Comic Con. Wubba Fett says, hola, everyone. Hello.
Wubba. How are you?
Cameron Christopher Payne says, is newbie such a hard word to use nowadays? I don't know, man. They were like, the thing said the Negro man. I'm like, me? And I'm like, well, it had to be talking about me. I wasn't. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'll take it. I've been called worse. Usually by family members. It's like I've been called worse and I deserve it. Guys, very big very big week for crowdfunding. I understand. I seen an article. I was not able to fact check it, but I understand that we have passed over in 1 year's time, we passed $1 billion raised in crowdfunding comics. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, $1 billion raised. I understand. I have to fact check that, but if that is true, that's it's quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. I'm excited about that. I want some of that money. Give it to me.
So I wonder what the market share would be then, if you factor that into what the regular sales are for regular mainstream comic books. What would that equal in market share? That'd be fun to know.
You know, I remember, and when we point this out on the Liberty site, that when you take in everyone that Diamond lumps in that green section, they give them their own market shares. And that's a pretty big market share, and they kind of just like, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. It's interesting. That's a pretty big, but the market share though, that should be pretty big when you consider. I mean, $1 billion is quite a bit of money.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was 20 to 25% of the market.
Matt Campbell says, "Hey everyone, hello Matt." So guys, would you like to get into some questions?
I suppose we could wade into that part of the pool.
We could, but before we do that, I want to ask you guys. I want to tell you guys we have a new feature, another new feature, because that's what we're about here. New features all the time.
You're about new features.
Yeah. You can actually now call us if you wanted to. You can call IndieVolt while we're live. You can call us.
I'm pretty sure this is a mistake.
Yeah. 313-829-0671. Again, 313-829-0671. You can call IndieVolt and you can pick up your phone, dial us. We'll bring you on into the show. We'll let you come in and talk to us for a while.
Do we have that on a 10-second delay, or are we going to?
we are TV MA DLSOV.
That's right. I like that. I'm pretty sure this is a mistake. I'm pretty sure this is. So yeah, you can give us a call if you like. 313-829-0671 is the number to call.
And if you act now, we'll send you 2 of them, only for the price of shipping and handling.
Right. That's right. Let's see here. We got here. Boba Fett says, indie comics have always been popular, and Kickstarter Indiegogo makes it easier to access.
Yeah.
Rebel Comics says, wow, word homies. Dillard in the house says, what's up, fellas? Lola says she's not a fella. Yeah. Who let this Dillard guy in? I can't wait to start pranking the vote. Repressing urge to call in doing Stan Lee impression. And they forgot to lock the door. That is true. It's we'll learn to regret it. So we're gonna go into a question here. That is I'll start with a light one. A light one. a light question. And Eric will be able to. Eric will like this one. Here we go.
Okay, so Facebook video views don't count. We get it. But you have to start somewhere, right? So how do you build up a fan base as a creator on social media?
Now, okay. Now, I get it, Gak. You're making a comment about me ragging on Facebook videos. I wasn't being that much of a prick. I was just saying that don't believe the hype when some people are like, I've got 20 million views on Facebook. It doesn't count. But go ahead. Unless Facebook puts ads in those videos, that's how you know that you've made it. But yeah, how do you get a fan base on social media as a creator? Be entertaining. Talk to people. Live streams. If you're an artist, you can always draw and do a live stream.
And shit post.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit posting helps. Randy, what do you think? I mean, I know at first you weren't listening to any of the YouTube videos, any of those people. And then I came along and said, hey, check these people out. Look at this video. And since then you found other people, other creators, and some of them you glommed on. Other ones you was like, oh, he's getting boring. I'm not listening to this person anymore. I'll come back in a couple months.
So true.
What's that like for you? Is what makes a creator entertaining to you on social media?
Well, one, they have to know their stuff. They have to have an opinion that I appreciate, or a perspective that I want to sit and listen to. That they have to. A lot of times they have to have done it for a while. You don't get somebody that just walks up and starts a video or a podcast that's going to be great right off the bat. It's something that you really build up to. And some of the great podcasters have been out there doing it for years. And some of them that have been doing it for years still aren't any good.
Yeah.
You know, that you get the occasional ones that are just, you click on their video because they're on recommended, but you didn't see exactly who did the video, and then their blaring music starts up, or their co-host pops up and tee-hees or whatever. You go, oh no, not them guys, you know, and you click off of it real fast. But or you get you see their, like I said, their logo is usually the dead giveaway, and you go, no, not watching that one. You know, but it takes some time, it takes some skill, it takes some knowledge about the media, and you just slowly have to build up your audience. Patience, I think, and practice is the big key. I was going to say it's like that old joke about how do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice.
I will. I'll say this: there have been some people, some podcasters, who have good shows, but some of their cast I can't stand.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And I'm like, oh no, don't have this person on. No, I'm out of here.
Fingernails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Matt Campbell's echoing what Randy was saying. Basically, time building up the fan base.
Yeah.
You know? And really, I mean, if you're entertaining, it's going to make up for low production values. If you're not entertaining, the you know, all of the spice and good camera art's not going to help you. You know, it might look nice, but it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
One of my newest hobbies is I've been watching this fellow on YouTube, and it's called How to Drink. He's basically just a home bartender. He's not professional or anything, and he just does mixology stuff, but it's really well shot. There's slow motion video for when he's like doing pours and breaking ice and stuff, and he just hooks you, just reels you in because it's so done well, and he's got great delivery as a comedian. He's kind of like a Kevin James type guy, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's cool. I could watch that. I could watch that all day. As a matter of fact, though I'm easily entertained.
I learned some stuff about absinthe, our favorite liquor. There.
Yeah.
He's got a whole episode on it.
That's cool.
Jason Moore in the house. What's up, folks? Spy Tattoo. Have great content, cross-pollinate platforms, be active in the communities that you like to be in, be a good person and interactive, have good memorable branding, And Spy Tattoo says hi, and hi everyone. Sorry, I'm like
Spy.
in the studio. No problem, Joe. Glad to have you here.
Better
So
late than never.
yeah.
You're not that late, Joe. We just got to our first question. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is important though. I mean, building up that fan base and not taking advantage of them. Because so many people look at them as just, hey, these are the newbies that pay me money. These are people who they come for your content, respect them. Don't ever get, if they have a problem with something you did or said, address that as best you can. Don't get smart and don't tell them, if you don't like what I said, don't buy my book. And then
your girlfriend.
Yeah, and then you get mad. You do the shock Pikachu.jpg face when they don't buy your book. Yeah, it's like, yeah, what happened? They didn't buy your book. That's what happened.
See, what happened is you're a dick.
Yeah.
Hey, there's one there.
So it's one of those things that you have to be very careful of. Again, guys, it's just simple. It's be a genuine person and not fake genuine, because there's a lot of that too. I'm so genuine.
A lot of that. Yeah.
What was that?
I'm
Lola?
the most humble man in the universe.
Yeah.
I said, I guess I gotta stop then.
Yeah. There's so many of them. I'm so genuine. Look at me. Oh. Sorry, I need to stop before I get myself in trouble. But
people can pick up on your fakeness real easy, and they can tell if you're not genuine. And they either really like that, or like most people, they absolutely hate it, and they'll tune out really quick. So you'll see that in your subscriptions.
Yeah, you will.
In your comments.
See here. Okay. I will bring up a new one here. And here we go.
Cranking away. It's Kyle T. James. How can one avoid making a predatory contract? How can one avoid making a predatory contract? I'm a future publisher and recently started drafting what will become my freelance contracts. How do I know when I've crossed that line from protecting myself and my company to being a tyrant?
That might be an indicator.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do in my contracts. That's not normal. No. You know what? When I write contracts, I look at it from also being a creator, and being an artist and wanting to be fair. Sometimes I'm too fair, and I'm like, shit. A good businessman wouldn't make that deal. But I mean, look, contracts usually favor the business. That's how it is. But like, Eric was joking, but when you start having some demands that will get thrown out of court,
serious answer from me here would be, this is one of those moments as a business person when you need to consult an attorney.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have somebody professional who can look over your contract, make sure you're not breaking any laws, and make sure that you're protecting yourself, justly. They'll be able to parse that for you.
Yeah. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better now. Feeling better. Almost. I almost got a clean bill of health. I was almost out. I do think that when you're like, because I worked at a job once where I did not know until after me and that job had a parting of the ways, me and the boss at that particular job, and I had to actually get a lawyer because apparently it is illegal to fire someone when you put them on medical leave. So you can't tell someone to take medical leave and then fire them. Apparently it's illegal. I didn't know that, but it is, and I end up being able to sue my former employer, and
this must have been a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was
because here in Michigan we're a right to work for less state now.
Well, it was this was about 7 years ago. No, 6 years maybe.
6.
It's 6. Yeah. But the thing was, he while my lawyer was looking over the case, he said, "Hey, how come you don't have any check stubs?" And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get paid once a month, and in Michigan that's illegal. It's illegal to get paid once a month." Did not know that. So my boss is in a bunch of trouble, just a bunch of trouble. And I ended up winning the case. Like he settled. He was like, "Here, take the money, leave me alone." But there are some things that you could put in the contract, and even you take it to court, you're gonna get laughed out of the courtroom with it, because that's just not legal. Even a person signs on to it, some things just aren't enforceable. In my contracts, for example, okay, I'll give you a good example. Years ago, my first publishing company, we had two things in the contract that were put in later that I didn't agree with. One of which was a fee system. If the artist didn't turn their pages in, they got docked, like $25.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Yeah. Like, man, things happen. I understand, and but that was one thing was in the contract, and it actually got to the point where there was no stopping that. Like, you could actually end up being so far in debt that you would actually do the book for free at one point, and it was horrible. One of the other things I think was in the contract was people didn't like, but because it was in Marvel's contract, was 30 days after publication of the book is when you get paid. So we yanked that out of Marvel's contract, put it into ours. This is my first company. I don't have it anymore, but put that into ours. And the problem is that 30 days after publication, if you read into that, read behind the lines, or between the lines, that's what if a book gets postponed? You don't get paid until 30 days after it's been published. So if the book gets postponed for a year or two, you're expecting that $2,000 check. You're not getting it. Sucks to be you. So we took that out the contract. That kind of sucked. I thought that was kind of mean and not cool. Joe says easily get a lawyer to look it over. Make sure that the penalties for breaches are valid. Grandpa's Comic Con says, write in very plain language, no legalese. Have an attorney go through it.
So, survey says, call an attorney.
Pops Van Zant says, crack that whip.
I didn't know he was a Devo fan. Crack that whip.
It's a pretty good song.
Sometimes the professionals are worth their money.
Sometimes.
And definitely lawyers are on something like that. You definitely want to consult a lawyer. You definitely want to know exactly what your paper says before you hand it to somebody.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you definitely want to budget for. I mean, there's a few different services where you can do prepaid legal. There's another one too, so that you can kind of have that in your pocket as well.
Yeah. Here we go.
And finding a lawyer that's a comic fan is a plus.
Yeah.
Randy, go ahead and read this one. There you go.
Give me a sec to work over there. Here we go. Wow. Will Adams Jr. Thanks for writing in, Will. Looks like this year's con scene is a bust. I'm a fan. I don't have a creative cell in my body. I just buy and enjoy comics. Saying that, miss me with that online Comic-Con shit. I'm a fan of comics, but not that shit. The cool thing about Comic-Con is that it's my chance, if I want, to pop over to your table or not, with online cons, I'm forced to sit through some pretty lame shit and ego stroking. Lame shit. Lame shit con.
Lame shit.
Will Adams Jr. Preach, brother. No. Online Comic Cons, so they are just a grift.
Sometimes they can be exactly what Will Adams says, though. They can be just tedious, and you sit there and try to stay awake as you watch them. But again, it's all up to the quality of the show. It's up to the show to keep you awake.
What?
I'm not against them, but I don't like to be part of them. I mean, if someone wants to do one and people want to go to it, go to it. It's your choice.
I mean, I know people who did the San Diego one, and it barely made it even worth it, and that's the high bar. So people who are doing online cons, nobody's done it right so far.
They might not have been down with PPE though. They didn't like the San Diego con.
No, but in my opinion, he's complaining for nothing. He doesn't have to go to these online cons. Why is he bitching about it?
Well, I will say
he's choosing to sit through it and bitch.
That's what we do, though. We're comic fans.
Maybe he enjoys complaining.
No, but it's his choice.
Ego stroking.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We're comic book fans. We eat.
I just feel like he just wants to bitch.
Yes, he's a comic book fan. That's what we do. What's wrong with you? Don't you get it?
Well, I did too, but not when I have a choice.
That sounds like that response you said earlier. You don't have to buy my books. You don't have to listen to my con. Yeah.
I do. Here's the thing, though.
In fact, like, for example, right now we have, according to our graph here, we have some people watching us, but less than half actually liking our show.
You better go like now.
Smash that like button. Smash it. Tell the algorithm to piss off and help us get doing
a half-inch job here.
Well, here's the thing, though, about online cons. I don't have
like button, folks.
I don't have a problem with online cons. I don't. I think online cons can be a great place to find out about new books. Mm-hmm. I think that as a creator or a publisher, it became kind of essential to try to, because of things that happened last year, to get out there and try to, hey, here I am, I'm alive, and here's my product. Yes. And please want my product, please. But at the same time, there are shows that are done poorly. There are shows that are done really well. There are shows I like the show. Any show that charges you to be there, I can't get with. I can't get with it.
It's too much of a huge risk with the you're not going to get the ROI on especially people who are there's some that are charging a normal table fee.
Yeah,
to be there, and that's just absurd.
Yeah. I mean, I've met people who run shows, out the kindness of their heart. Pops Van Zandt puts on Crime Con. He doesn't ask any money. He's paying for it all himself. I can respect that just to get new artists out there or get new creators out there. Meredith was doing the on-cons. I think she still does them.
I was going to say, but again, Pops has done this enough to know to keep the show moving.
Yeah, right. I mean, now, but the problem is you can sit there and get some ego stroking going on. Hello, this is the Varian Grant Hour, and I'm going to sit and talk about how great I am for 3.5 hours. Check me out.
Hey, that's every day in the house.
Yeah, it is. And yeah. It's
a long hour.
Yeah, it is.
24 of them strung together on repeat.
It's so I can't understand a bit of Will's problem here. But Will, again, you don't have to like them. You don't have to. And don't worry, Will. They're not going to become the norm. They're not going to become the standard. They won't. I mean, eventually cons will open back up, and you're going to see these online cons. Some of them are going to go by the wayside because nobody is really putting money, I don't think, hard money into growing them and turning them into something that could be, like instantaneous, like purchases. Like, so, how you walk through a con, you walk to somebody's table, you like the book, you buy it, it's in your hand. Yeah, sure, you can buy a PDF. That's fine. But the cons have to become way more interactive. It's just, yeah. I think online cons are pretty far from replacing Comic Cons in general. And I think that's what people like Will are really afraid of. They're afraid that they're not going to get a chance to go to a normal Comic Con again.
Well, it's not just that, but also in the last year, the online has really become kind of the Wild West. So you've got a lot of people trying a lot of different things, and some of them are horrible stunts that just make you want to laugh, and other things are kind of cool. You know, having a guest on, what was it, Geek Insider, Meredith and Matt had Tom Sizemore on, didn't they? They had him coming in for an interview.
I believe so, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Anybody can listen to that, or you have some big guest that you want to actually listen to on the show. Well worth your time to sit there and you know, even if you have to wade through a little bit of ego stroking and junk talk. But you know, the other shows, if they charge you to get in, or if they charge you for a table or something like that, and you know that you can just pop over to the next channel over on YouTube and listen probably the same people for free. It's not worth it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that's feeling itself out. There needs to be someone who can innovate maybe a good type of software that's going to bring together all of these webcam signals, have a built-in storefront. You know, I can visualize something that I think would work, but you know, as far as coding it, we're having to do what we can with what already exists, and there's not something that exists that's actually going to provide a Comic-Con experience in a virtual environment very well.
Yeah. And let's not forget to sitting, you know, like ask someone to hold their phones, you know, hold their phones or sit in front of their computer for hours. People get tired of that. That's why I watch a lot of YouTube on my TV. Yeah. It's like
I've caught myself watching less and less lately, like within the last couple of months. A lot of my recommendations are getting really droll, really bad. I don't know if it's my previous choices or what. But, holy crap!
You are paying for the choices you made, Mr. Zimmerman.
I guess so.
Paying the choices you made.
Got to be careful of what we talk about in the living room, I guess.
Oh yeah. I don't trust any of the wiretaps I have around me more since yesterday. Yesterday I told my wife to not buy a video game and to buy the competition's video game. And it was between two games, and the competition's game started showing up in my ads, and it's still there. It's like, you didn't buy our game? We're gonna show you our ad until you do. And their game was cheaper. It was between two skateboarding games, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with the name brand one. You know. Yeah, and I want the name brand one rather than the new guys. Well, it's not even new guys. It's just, you know, I went with Tony Hawk rather than the Skate XL. And I started seeing Skate XL all in my timeline afterwards. Grandpa's Comic-Con says a Comic-Con is a personal experience. The travel to and from, getting pics of cosplayers or guests, getting a sketch from the actual artist, even the smells we complain about. Can't do that online. You can do the smell online if you don't pay.
Might be able to get a camera, or not a camera, a candle together for that, though.
Yeah. It's ass. That's the.
I'll make some indigo soap with that then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Unwashed masses. That's what it is. The unbathed masses. That we unfortunately have. You know,
just reminds me of Kim Cattrall and Porky's.
When we go to Comic-Cons, generally when I get there, it still smells fine because the big doors are open and we're all filing and everything. But you know what? They're all right. There is a smell. There is a smell to certain Comic-Cons, and yeah. Then when people start filing in, you're like, oh.
Well, we'll see. I still have scheduled Otaku Fest at the end of the month here in Miami, Florida. So if I'm there, I'll do a live broadcast for the show.
Cool.
Now,
I'm coming with you. I want to get out this cold.
Has that changed? Has the bill changed how you? Because you've driven everywhere.
Yeah.
Are you flying? How are you doing it? Yeah.
I'm flying. I got Frontier Airlines. I'll have to pay for an extra bag. I'm taking a very minimal setup. It's an anime show, so I'm just taking anime stuff, my anime portraits, stickers, a couple of the canvas things, a simple backdrop, and plug Dinosaur Man while I'm down there. I have a very low cost threshold, so I can be in profit. So I'm just hoping enough people show up.
Are you it's an anime show?
Yeah.
Are you checking every morning for like that cancellation?
Oh yeah.
Email.
Yep. And I bought, because I bought my stuff through Priceline. Funny thing. So the host hotel program code to stay at the hotel. That rate for 2 nights was what I paid through Priceline for the same hotel, different room, but same hotel, and my airline tickets.
Mary Machine Gun says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Hello."
Mary Machine Gun, you're on Indiegogo right now, right? Or are you planning to launch? Because I've been seeing your book popping up.
You should come on Geekgasm.
Yeah, come talk.
And Matt Campbell was talking about coming on at some point too. I'd like to get him on, talk to him about what he's got going on. We always have room for guests here on Indie Vault Live Wire.
We should be having Adam Post join us about 10 to talk about the Mermaids book.
Yep. That's what we're currently waiting on. So where's the stalling? We're stalling you guys for time right now.
You just spoiled the surprise.
Yeah. I did get one more question. I'll bring this up here. I thought this was kind of funny. And it actually kind of fits because Lola made the joke about what I got called earlier. Here it is.
Last week, for the first time, I remembered to check out Indie Vault on YouTube. I usually listen on the radio app. First time seeing your lovely faces. And I was shocked to learn that Marion is undeniably black. Holy crap.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
Shocked. I did not know this. Silver, can I say that C word?
You better not.
Silver spoon C word? Nope. Black excellence on clear display. Rico. What was this? Who was that? Will earlier was talking about ego stroking.
Yeah, that was I'll take that. But I listen.
Black excellence on clear display.
It is. And this is black excellence.
Don't give him any more power.
Black excellence. I could lie to you people. My soul is too sensitive. I can't.
He's not going to shut up all night now about it.
That's why he typed up the card there.
That's why I make sure I brought that up there. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this too. I'll tell you how petty I am. I seen someone write an article about a black-owned Roku channel, and I'm like, the F. I got one of those. I'm black.
You can say the F word.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And then it all dawned on me. It all dawned on me. It's Lola's fault.
We just lost Dreaded.
It's all Lola's fault. It's all Lola's fault. Had I not been married, I would be getting full black excellence cards. But unfortunately for me,
some people think I should be married to Mafia.
Yeah. You should.
I actually got that message.
That was funny. He's black. Man Machine Gun on Twitter. Man Machine Gun is on Twitter. Man Machine Gun on Twitter, and we'll check you out. Check this out, and then I'll send a link and I'll drop in. All right, yeah, I'll send a link. Give me 1 second. We're gonna talk about this on my show later.
I'd be thrilled to be on the show. Matt,
tell you what I'll do. Let me send some links out real quick. Hold on.
It's so funny that we've been doing this for almost 2 years on a regular basis, and we've had a lot of people on the show come through, and almost everybody that's on, we go, hey, dude, anytime you want to come on, you're welcome to come back. Just drop us a line and tell us, and we'll send you a link. And like, nobody does it.
I think they're afraid.
A lot of people contact me now, Randy.
A
lot of people contact me.
There you go.
And I've been trying to schedule everybody in, and because I'm the one that controls like the Facebook for Indie Vote, like all the social medias.
Cool.
So I'm talking to everybody.
Well, that's awesome.
Is that what's happened? Is everyone?
Yeah, I'm taking over. I'm trying to take off more work so he has more time to focus on other things that are going on.
Well, you got to. Yeah. He's got to learn to delegate.
He can't
That's
do
the way
that.
it works.
I stepped down from indievolt.com so that I could focus on other things. Liberty Entertainment Distribution was needed some tender love and care, and so I had to step away from that. And there he is. He's messing with the computer and dropped everything. You ruined it all.
No, you're doing this to your computer with streaming with the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi got overloaded from other activities in the house, and it just killed me.
But yeah, I stepped away from indievolt.com to focus on Liberty, and everyone thought I left indievolt. They're like, what?
Other things. Well, that's what you get for making an announcement. It's like you posting pictures of you looking at Office Space.
Everyone freaked out. Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's I forgot where I was going with that now. I did want to say too, also, guys,
your responsibilities are growing daily, and you have to learn to delegate some of that authority so that you can actually get work done, or you're going to fall behind on stuff.
Tell them.
That was a really big problem I had with Arrow Comics. I'd always let my stuff slide, trying to get everybody else's stuff out there as fast as possible.
I
turned into a problem.
Delegating is like giving up. It's like giving up. It's giving up like my babies.
Oh no! Yeah.
Delegation is very hard, except for when the delegation goes smoothly. But unfortunately, 90% of the time, delegation does not go smoothly.
Well, it depends on who you got to. I mean, like Randy's done some delegating with IndieVolt, and sometimes I'll call him and he'll tell me, "Let me tell you what I did." So I did this, and like he runs like. People don't realize this. There was when I was sick, Randy and Lola run the show, but Randy really stepped up and he was running a lot of the shows, the guests and everything. And so it was Varian doesn't want me on the show. I'm like, Varian is on the sofa.
Varian can't move.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Randy's running around trying to look at the chat and watch everything else going on, and he probably missed your post unless he intentionally wanted to ignore it.
it's like I didn't. Dan Schmidt says, "Hey Varian, how's Liberty Distribution going? It is doing well. I'm actually in the middle of making sure. I was scared this week by watching people get a hold of like Liberty doesn't. So the cool thing about Liberty is that when someone purchases your comics, it goes into it. The money is put into your account, your Liberty account, which you have access to on your dashboard. So you see how much you're owed all times. Think of it as OnlyFans. And so you can request your payment whenever you want. You can request your payment, and you set that up.
Is there a limit like OnlyFans?
only some OnlyFans. I know that, Lola. Anyway, so what happens is that I was worried. I'm like, well, I don't actually have their information, but I do have their PayPal. I don't have the passwords to PayPal. I don't have that type of stuff, but I want to make sure that everything is secure. So I called GoDaddy. I'm like, look, I need these SSL certificates, and I need you guys to put them on my new hosting platform. Well, they were like, oh, we can do that, but it's going to take a minute. And so it's going to take a minute. So they're constantly moving around because I bought the SSL certificates, I guess, on the old hosting platform. Then I may moved over to the new hosting platform, and that's what's taking its sweet time. Matt is joining us. Hello, Matt.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
fine.
And we have Max, Mary Machine Gun, has joined us as well.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Matt and Max should probably introduce themselves to our radio audience.
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll give you the number of that radio audience once they're finished.
All right. I'm Max DeVille, creator and writer of Mary Machine Gun. It was in Indiegogo in November, kickstarted in December, and we're probably 4 or 5 days away from beginning fulfillment.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah. Got everything in except for the naughty prints, and the second printing with all the extra covers, like the Kickstarter exclusive covers and stuff, are still on their way, but they should be here by Friday.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
On Monday, we should start mailing them out. We'll mail out the Indiegogo ones first, and then the Kickstarter ones second.
Cool.
Nice.
Introduce yourself, Matt.
Well, my name is Matt Campbell. I am a comic book artist for the last over a decade. I have my own publishing company, Action Line Studios. I about 8 years ago started a comic called Mythica. It's about a Scottish soldier and an Irish spy and some other allies finding themselves fighting demons in the middle of the World War I time period. And then they later discover their ties to their Celtic roots and start unlocking all sorts of fantasy creatures from the Celtic underworld. So it's a fun book.
I'm sold.
And I've done most all the art for the book so far. We are about to launch in February issue 7, which starts a brand new chapter. Takes us to Magnus's homeland of Scotland. But the first 6 issues are collected into a volume called Darkness Rising. And it's available right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, as well as on our website, which is what I encourage because that's where we actually make a few bucks. And so our website is actionlinestudios.com. And we've got a bunch of other cool stuff there as well. And then now we've expanded. We've got a side offshoot of Mythica in the works right now. I have an apprentice that I'm training in art and page layout. And
I want an apprentice.
Well, as it turned out, I actually teach college classes. I teach a comic book class at the college, as well as concept art and graphic design. Uh-oh. Max has the COVID or something.
Max
got the cannabinoid virus.
There you go.
Smoke went down the wrong way. Happens to the best of us.
Well, no, but I have an advantage because like I said, I teach these classes at a college, and so every couple semesters I'll get a gem of a student who's just needing a little bit of polishing, and Caleb's that student right now. He's really got a really fun, energetic style of splatter and roughness, very reminiscent of Jason Shaw and Alexander. And so he's working on a little side offshoot of Mythica with the main character. And then I've also got a new book from a new writer that we're now working on called Ruination. So a lot of stuff in the works right now.
That makes me feel lazy. I'll tell you this. I had a dream last night about something I wanted to do.
You really are black.
Yeah. It was
undeniable.
Yeah, and I was like, but I woke up. I'm like, man, I can't do that. But I thought it'd make a good idea for a villain to do that in a comic. So I finally figured out this comic book I wanted to do. And at my current rate, that book ought to be coming out in 2030. At my current rate.
I got to tell you, when I started working on Mythica years ago, it was just me, and I actually got a writer to help me like corral all my ideas into like a cohesive story to start. And I'm really grateful for that. His name was William Tooker. And but when I first started, I didn't have a following. I saw someone talking about that earlier on your show about like how do you get a following going. Mm-hmm. And there was something I did that I think changed the course for me. And that was with the handful of people that I had following me at the time, I had a blog, and I was like, "Hey guys, you know what? I'm gonna call Mondays Mythica Monday, and I'm gonna put out a new page every Monday." But I was drawing and coloring and lettering the whole thing, and getting it out. And so there were times where like it'd be like mid Saturday, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm not done," and it would keep me from going out and socializing, getting it done, and just week after week after week, it kept building. I kept getting it done, and then when I went to my first convention and I sat down at the table, I already had people who were like, "Yeah, I've been seeing this online," and that's how it grew, you know. But it also was an accountability system for me to like get shit done because it's really tough.
If only you listen to me.
Yeah, see, well, see, I get forced into accountability.
That's a good thing, man.
Which, is how most men in my family become good fathers anyway. I'm forced into accountability. So
you're a great father. When it comes to drawing, though,
it's just like I'm like I don't want to do this. This takes time. I could be playing video games. I could be eating. I could be doing something else. But I will tell you guys this: when it comes to like publishing comics, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Only I can get someone else to publish my comics. That'd be great. But no, I gotta do it myself. Everyone needs a push sometimes, says Nita. Yeah. Some people right off of a curb when a bus is coming.
When you make a comic though, and you get that book in your hand, and it's just been an idea at that point. Even if you've seen digital art and you've got a PDF put together, just feeling it in your hand and smelling the ink and just feeling the quality of the paper, there ain't nothing better than that.
Yeah.
So far.
Yep.
I don't know. Fulfilling might be an even better feeling. I don't know. Haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
You'll know soon.
But
yeah.
For personal, heart-wrenching, almost brought a tear to my eye. It was opening it up and putting that book in my hand for the first time and flipping through it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it feels great. Max, did you get any international orders for your project?
We did. We got a few from Australia, a couple from Canada, one from Germany, one from France. Did I say Australia already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple from there. So
did you account for that?
Yeah, we accounted for it on the shipping. Certain shipping was more because it's just cost more. Like if we were going to ship to Brazil, I think it was $50, but that's just how it is.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. There's no way around it.
No one's shipping out of state out of the country right now.
Unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So I've ran a few campaigns before. My first campaign is where I learned about international shipping, and I was like, oh, I didn't charge nearly enough. But my last campaign, we actually had like hardback books we were sending, and I ended up going to like 23 countries, and it wasn't too bad at that time. We're averaging around $22 to $24 to ship. Wasn't terrible. But you guys are talking about now that like right now it's more or that nobody's shipping. Is it because it's more or because it's just taking so long? Or I'm worried about international shipping now. My Kickstarter launches in a
It's
few
a
weeks.
little bit of both. The international shipping, a lot of these countries, their mail services, they've been having a lot of problems with them, with people just stealing mail or mail just going missing and stuff like that. I mean, your tracking number from your USPS, if you buy it, is only good enough until it hits that country.
Yeah. We get a lot of books sent to us for review here at Indie Vault, and a lot of times when they come from out the country, when they get here, UPS will adopt the tracking code, but that's just so I'll know what city it's in. Like
Yeah.
when it gets to me is like subject to, if the mail carrier feels like he's gonna bring it out that day. And
Exactly.
so I always ask them to make sure they get make sure they kind of spring for the extras. But like right now, to send something off, Lola has to pay $70 to send it to the UK. A very light item, shouldn't be that much, doesn't weigh that much. She has to pay $70 to send it to the UK. I know some other artists who have been telling me lately that they don't know how they're gonna fulfill some of those books in the United States. I have an artist who has a book, has to go to Australia, and he's like, that book, it's gonna by the time he pays for those books, that 2 books to go to Australia, is basically 3 books here. Like he's so basically $60.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do country of origin on-demand printing. There's just got to be a way to work it out. I've done a little bit with prints where I've had contacted printers in Australia when I've had orders in Australia, printers in the UK. So I've been able to do it with prints. There's got to be a way to do it with on-demand publishing as well.
I'm pretty sure there is, but you just got to find the printer that's
Well,
willing to do it.
But then what about all your stretch goals and stuff like that from your crowdfund? You can't. I mean, you could.
Yeah,
look
that's
for
true.
Sticker printers in Australia and sticker printers but that'd be a lot of work and probably a lot of expense.
Hey, Dred, that changes quite a bit when you get to the point of having like a graphic novel with like an ISBN number and stuff. Floppy comics are, I don't know that shipping them internationally on demand is ever going to be like a viable thing, but my goal usually is to try and get to that graphic novel point because I print my graphic novels a lot through this company called Ingram Spark, and they have 3 locations around the globe. So if someone in Australia orders it, they print it in Australia. If someone in Europe buys it, they print it there and ship it. So they don't have to ship it as far, for one thing. And so any order that I get on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, it goes and processes straight to them for print on demand and then, shipped to them. Now, the thing about I will say about Lightning Source that I had to sacrifice in order to have that was that their interior, their whole system really is designed for novels, for books, So their interior paper content isn't that glossy comic. It's the old, it's more like a paper that you get in a book. So our hardback book, thankfully, our book, takes place in the World War I era. So having that old school feel of paper kind of works for our comic.
Kind of works for the aesthetic. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and so we have a hardback with 180 pages in it, and it's all in that print. But when I do, some graphic novels for shows, sometimes I'll use a different printer with a nice glossy paper. But I know that my international people are taken care of if they get an order, So that's, I think, right now the closest thing we have.
JD says Ingram Spark is attached to Lightning Source. I only used a few printers my entire comic book run. The first printer I ever used was Comics Express, which was you send your files in and you hurry up and wait. There's no guarantee you were getting your books by the next con. I remember freaking out, thinking I'm never gonna get my books in time, and I did, but it took about 5 weeks.
Oh man.
I used Comics Wellspring this time because they had the best quality paper.
Yeah, I use them a lot too. The other thing I like about Comics Wellspring that a lot of people don't pay attention to with indie comics, if you guys notice when you buy your normal big time comics, big multi-print comics, they're flat when you get them. They're just like pancake flat. And when you get a lot of these indie printers, especially, some of the locals, you'll buy a book and you'll get that puffiness because they can't press it the same way.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like about Comics Wellspring is their books did tend to have a lot more compressed, feel to it. I like their stuff a lot. And they're quick. They're fast, like 2 weeks.
from Indie Vote Radio. By the way, Indie Vote Radio right now, 62,710 people listening live on Indie Vote Radio right now. But from Indie Vote Radio, we have a question. This one is from Lynn. Lynn says, "Hi guys, yeah, how do you address when?" Sorry, Lynn's first language is not English, but he says, "How do you address when your country, in this case mine, removes pages or opens your orders and discards several items that you may have bought? In my country, we have banned books because they may cause foreign influence of ideas and beliefs."
Yeah.
So he has crowdfunded several books. I've crowdfunded several books that have come to me with content removed or the books missing. How do you basically, how do you approach your backers about solving that? After PDFs come in, Lynn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what PDFs come in, because look, if I send a Gemini mailer to China, there's a good chance they're going to open it. And they're going to look through it and say, "What is this? Oh my goodness, there's a severed head on the cover." And it might put itself in a circular file.
Unfortunately, that has to do with the government that you live under. And my Mythica book, when I was first making it, like I said, I'm putting out pages online. It is a mature rated book, and there's some nudity. And I actually had a friend in China at the time, and they were like, "Did you put out a page this week?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, and they blocked it like right away, and that was on my blog. But anything that remotely looks like that, they have a lockdown on it.
Randy, you had a book that was banned in Canada, correct? Was it Canada?
Arrow Comics had a book that was banned in Canada because of the content of the cover. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you now you could print it. Did you print that in Canada?
I am pretty sure it wasn't.
Okay.
I think we ran into a problem when they tried to ship it over there. I wasn't associated with that. Jason Moore was associated with that, though. Jason, if you're still out there, jump in the chat and let us know.
I think that's
it was for graphic content, though. It wasn't for nudity or anything like that. It was, well, it could have been nudity as well. The nudity was pretty graphic.
Yeah. So. I've yet to have a book banned. I've had everything else in comics happen to me, but I have not had a book banned yet. I've had my editor tell me I'm not running this before. That was great.
Well, with the book was a zombie book, and with it they just ran two covers. One of them was Tame, or Tamer, I should say, and the other one, especially I believe on their second issue, they told everybody this is not going to Canada. You're not going to get this.
If I got banned in a country, I'd wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, they were pretty happy. Yeah, they kind of did that for a bit. Yeah, absolutely. And the second one was a lot more graphic than the first.
Because that's just going to raise your secondhand market price.
Yeah.
Banned in Canada. Come across the border and pick it up and drive it home.
Yeah.
They're both pretty classic covers. Yeah.
Also from Indie Vote Radio, this one is from Mike. Mike wants to know, when you guys are making your books, do you ever consider offering a free shipping tier? Free shipping, I don't think is possible in the crowdfunding platforms. I'm not sure.
You can free ship, but it'd be like if I wanted to sell my book for $20, I'd have to sell it for like $27.
Yeah.
And then offer you free shipping.
Yeah.
You're not really getting free shipping. You're paying for shipping in the cost of the item.
Yeah. Sometimes people do that with stuff on eBay to get a workaround the eBay fees. Funny story about Kilted Avenger, though, because when we first set up the Indiegogo page, the first few sales that we hadn't figured the shipping in. So we actually had a few go out that ended up being free shipping.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I would have I tried, like, the platform that I use for selling comics from Last Call Comics, they factor in the shipping for us. Sometimes it seems a little extreme to me. I've had people reach out and say, "Hey, could I get a discount on that shipping?" Sorry, they won't let me. But yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. We charge $7 for shipping. Jason Moore says the Dead was banned because of the mixture of sex and gore in Canada and the UK. It was printed by Print and Litho. Issue 2 is now on Key Collector app and selling for between 90 to 150. LOL. You know, it's funny. Yeah,
See, you banned something and create a black market for it.
yeah.
It's over in Windsor, so they probably had to pick up the copies and smuggle them across the border. They couldn't sell them over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Shipped over.
customs is going to be a little more apt to look at your book than the dudes at the border patrol.
Yeah.
They're going to see comic books. Okay, whatever. Get out of here, guy.
Yeah. And until they reach in your buddy's car and start putting out his Playboys, then there's a problem. They did that. They did that to us in Canada, and they took my buddy's car apart. They put out all his Playboys, and they were like, "Nice issues." And I'm like, "You had Playboys in the back seat of your car? Really? Really? This is the person I'm traveling around with?"
He's like, "You don't?"
Yeah, I'm like, "No, I don't."
Could have been worse.
They came with the car, man. These ain't mine.
Could have been something much harder core.
I don't know where they came from.
This is my cousin's car.
Yeah. I should. It was a friend of mine, but I remember looking at him like, you should probably take the Playboys out the back of your car. He's like, yeah. After that, yeah, you're right. I don't think he drives Playboys. It has Playboys in the back of his car anymore.
Did he lose them at the border?
No. They looked through them, and they said they're nice issues, man. Joined by Mr. JD Calderon.
Boy, this just keeps getting
Hey,
bigger and
what's
bigger.
up?
How you doing, guys?
Hey, JD.
Hey,
Two more and we get a Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
There you go. Exactly.
I think that.
We play Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that there's a I know we got our phone line 313-829-0671. We listen on Indie Boy Radio, and you can call out of your country. Feel free to call that number. We'll bring you in here for a quick conversation, let you say something real quick to us, and then I'll kick you out. It's that quick.
Nice.
Fast.
We need to test that number anyway, so somebody give us a call.
Yeah, somebody please prove that this is a bad idea.
Yeah. It's I gotta try it. No, it's a bad idea. You're right.
Yeah, but I was listening to you guys. I do free shipping sometimes through my Kickstarters, but it's usually already worked into the price, so it's like everybody else. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, you get free shipping, but it's only in the U.S. I won't do it internationally; it's just too expensive.
So it's like that. It's a $20 TV on eBay, but the shipping's $150.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Not that bad, but yeah.
Don't be like me. I remember buying a video game like that. Oh, what's that? Yeah, go ahead. See if it although you'll probably get some bit of
The double feedback loop might be a problem.
Hello. Let me share.
And this is how Max went backwards in time.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
There it is.
How's it going?
Max's basement. Hello.
He's talking, but we're not hearing something.
We're not hearing you.
Oh, you're not hearing him?
No.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. Wait a minute. Oh, I know why. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'll fix that. You guys should be able to hear him. My fault.
The shit's broke.
Yeah, can you hear him now? Let's see here.
no.
No, he's a low whisper.
Yeah.
Oh, low whisper, is it? Okay. Well, I could probably fix the sound. Yeah, it was working. It's funny. I had it working the other day perfectly, but now it's just, tonight it doesn't want to do it correctly. It's like, no, I'm gonna make everybody see you fail, Varian. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's not.
Probably to help save you in the long run.
Yeah.
Exactly. You start getting all those porn calls.
There you go. All right, thanks for calling, Max.
A lot of heavy breathing.
Thanks for calling. Have a good day.
I do think that it's funny because it was working great the other night when we were on. I could hear everything, but we'll get it. We'll get it together.
I blame StreamYard.
Yeah.
Need a producer to screen those calls.
I let Lola do it. People start calling her like, I was going to speak to Lola. I don't want to speak to those guys. You'll see her. Yeah, see exactly. She goes, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, Lola, pick up the phone. I like your foot cam.
Yeah. Yeah.
I come for the shoe cam and leave.
She gets Facebook Live calls while we're on. And it's like, what? We're in the middle of a show. Why are you calling on Facebook Live? But it happens. Indie Vote Live question from Indie Vote Radio. Best call ever. And this one is from Matt. So we have another Matt calling, and not this Matt though. And he says, when I do live streams, I'm pretty boring. I don't like people to watch me draw in person, so watching me draw online is even more nerve-wracking. Plus, I'm not a good conversationalist. I can't have a conversation with myself. So I guess I'm screwed for building a fan base.
No.
Yeah, no. Like Randy doesn't talk when he draws. Randy goes into this like mode where I don't think he
rarely talk when I do my cartoon instructionals. I have to force myself to talk when I draw, and I'm finding it rough now to do videos on my Zim Geek channel where I'm talking. I can't film myself, but I'm a lot more comfortable here in a podcast in a group. You know, and the video I'm working on now, I'm like, wow, it's so easy for me to be here and rant and rave on Indie Volt as opposed to act, you know, remotely spirited when I'm talking to myself on the camera, knowing that I'm turning it into a video.
Yeah.
But it's all a matter of just getting out there and getting comfortable with what you're doing. Seriously. And
hey, you know, another thing to do is I have to do this because same thing. I struggle to talk and draw. A lot of times I get lost in the page I'm working on or something, and I'll forget that I'm recording and not talk for like half an hour. So what I'll do is, you know, I'll record the whole thing and then I'll go back over and maybe shorten the video, speed it up, and then just do little bite-sized audio clips over the top of it rather than try and, you know, think of something to say nonstop.
Do it live.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything, you know, live. You don't have to do what everybody's doing. Do what works for you, and it fits into your zone.
That is a good piece of advice. I just learned to talk to myself, and and so I'll sit there and draw, and I'll have conversations with myself. But I also what actually helped me was telling stories, and I started watching a lot of on Twitch and even on Netflix, watching streams of Bob Ross.
Yeah,
and this was a man who would sit and paint and talk all the time. So if you watch some of my draw streams, you're watching a very ghetto version of Bob Ross.
You making happy trees?
Yeah, I did say that I was going to create a character called Bobby Ross. And he's gonna be a black painter. He's gonna have an afro. He's gonna paint little crack houses and trap houses. Like, here we go. Check this out. But he's gonna sound more like a pimp than anything. He won't sound like, you know. It's gonna be,
something like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, here you go, right here. Here's the happy little trap house. We got some fiends outside, y'all. They got to pass out on the front lawn.
Yeah, but I think recording gives an artist an opportunity. If you record yourself for an hour, you could probably make 5-10 videos out of that, and then, you know, parse them out throughout the week, you know, and that'll give you a lot of content to put out there. That's what Daphne does.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Daphne, she's got like a lot of videos. In fact, it's really weird. I put up I watch YouTube when I'm like going to sleep at night. So YouTube videos automatically play things in my playlist, people I'm subscribed to. So it's weird. At night on my personal YouTube, if I wake up, sometimes I wake up to this show. Sometimes I wake up to Daphne or is anybody. Larry one night getting killed. Larry Higgins getting killed on Cyberpunk and cussing. And I'm like, why is Larry in my room screaming? What's going on? He was screaming. For some reason, that's the only part of the video that was loud, was him screaming. But did Daphne take a while to come out of her shell? Was it a learning process for her? Because
oh yeah,
her videos are very clear. I like when she gets triggered on the videos. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. She's been doing it, I think, for like 5 years now. So it took her a while to build up that library, but she's been at it pretty consistently. But I've seen her like slow down and then she'll speed up and then she'll slow down and speed up. So
we just got to keep Daphne with triggerable content. Just keep doing the stuff that this pisses her off, and she'll just keep making videos.
Mm-hmm.
Eric made some videos. Matter of fact, it's on IndieVote TV on Roku. He started the 100 Days Challenge, and I said, this is going to be cheap entertainment for me to get. I'm thinking to myself, he doesn't know that he's about to give me 100 videos of content. This is going to be awesome. What I didn't know was that Eric wasn't going to do 100 videos.
No, I failed the 100-day challenge because I had paying work come in, and I ended up stopping and doing my strip for a while.
Yeah. So you went from I think you got 5 in.
I made it to like 50 or something, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I know you got 5 up on the Roku station, but yeah, there was only like. Yeah, I don't know.
Some of them weren't. Not all. Most of them weren't videos. It was just like posting a pic that you did something on your comic today.
Yeah. But as far as videos, we got I think you got like 5 or 6 videos up there from those.
But people were digging the live stream because I was doing it, and Paul was running it at the comic shop in Pittsburgh, and he was getting a crowd of every once in a while to come in and watch. So.
Yeah, that's cool. That is.
It's one of the things we're trying to work on. Actually, starting from the very beginning of the concept art and everything, and having the artist do the concept art, have the overhead camera and all that stuff set up, and just do a book from start to finish and make a YouTube series out of it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Joe says, talk about stuff you like or passionate about, and not and not focus on if it's boring. You will see you will fill an hour or two in no time. It gives you opinions for editing for multiple videos or one long play. Yeah, I usually see what happens when I start talking. I end up saying something and someone writes me a letter later. And like, hey, you said this, or somebody takes the video, chops it up, puts it on their page, on their YouTube, and takes me and Randy wildly out of context.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do YouTube, is I don't need people taking me wildly out of context and making me look like a retard.
We
I do enough. I do that myself.
I recall the video. I recall the day that it happened. Randy messaging me, and he was I
was flustered and pissed the next day.
He felt some type of way, and he was red. He told me this must be how politicians feel, because he had never been taken into context that bad before.
No.
And
you start dancing on eggshells for a while afterwards, and then you start to realize that it doesn't matter. Everyone's just going to take you out of context anyway, so just say what you're going to say.
Yeah, you got to pre do with a I don't care. Just front load the not having any F's to give, and
we
jump in the pool.
Yeah, we get in trouble here. We get a nasty letter every now and again.
I tell you what I don't like, and one of the reasons why I like doing the live streams with you guys rather than doing my own videos, I don't like editing. I mean, I do enjoy editing if I'm getting paid to edit, but if I'm editing, I'm spending hours that I'm not working on my comic, I'm not working on some other paid job. It's just a time vampire to edit videos together.
Actually, I was noticing how quickly Barian is like switching screens, how quickly he like brought me on. And got things hooked up for Max and everything, and like one of the first things that grabbed my attention is how professional and clean this whole thing looked. Got my attention, and it made me think about like when I make Kickstarter videos. I even went to animation school, and it still takes me like a whole fucking week to try and like put something decent together.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I'm not working on pages, so
yeah,
I struggle with that too.
That's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of different service providers that'll give you like stock stuff to put together. I'm a lifetime member of Digital Juice, and so it's a great place to find. You can get pre-put together projects. You get tons of royalty-free content, music and stuff. And it's easy to take what they've got, tweak it, and tailor it to yourself and come up with something. That saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I use Video Hive.
Video Hive, yeah, that's another one.
That's the one I use. They've got some good stuff on there. A little expensive, but it's worth it on some of it. You just got to dig.
I will say this too. A lot of the professionalism that you're seeing is the software. not so much me. In fact, we joke about this. I showed it before, and I'll bring it up here.
And that, my friend, is when the goddamn pig exploded.
What?
What a perfect place to segue.
What's that? That bacon be raw.
I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that was perfect.
How you doing, buddy? On Facebook, you said you were having a breakdown.
That's we used to do these cold openings.
That's our first. Yeah, we figured we just go into whatever when we hit the live button. So whatever crossed our minds, and that's when the goddamn pig exploded.
That's great.
But it used to be like really, and then one of the first edited videos I did, we took our one of our interview girls out, one of the girls that does interviews at Comic-Cons and at concerts for us, and I got to get this video edited, so I ran home, edited this video, and that's not it. At least it wasn't porn.
Thank God it wasn't porn.
Could have been worse. Could have been porn. Here we go. All right. I ran home and
depends on how ashamed of the porn you watch is.
Yeah. And
I don't think he watches. He's going to store him.
So this is
here the halfway to Halloween, and we got Aura Labora. So hey, you guys, can you guys?
And this was really bad editing for me.
And I'm Chase.
So I'm trying to put this together, but I have to hurry up.
Of your band. How did you guys come up with that name?
Our drummer, who's not here.
So far, so good. I thought she was going to give the microphone over to the guy, and I'm like, that's rule one: never give up the mic.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, she's good. The only problem is, she moved. She had to move away, but people would always ask her, huh? Because her first language is in English. She's from the Philippines, so it was always, and so she was always super nervous, and so we'd set up, like we'd be outside of a convention, and she'd say, hello, everybody. This is JoJo. I'm at, where am I at? So there's so many takes of her not knowing what city she's in or switching over to Filipino, and it's like, we're going to be outside forever. And
that could make for some great video, though.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of stuff taped and recorded.
Stuff.
Yeah. And she was always popular. The only problem is when we had her, guys would follow her around the con. Artists would leave their tables and follow her around the show. And I'm like, I've got this big ass camera, and I'm like, can I help you? And
bunch of sad sacks.
Yeah, and they're simping for her. And I'm like,
it's a girl.
Will you send this person away? And she's like, I tried. I told him I'm married and everything. I don't know what else to do. I told him I'm married. I told him I have a kid. He won't leave.
You gotta ask for $50.
Yeah.
Just give me $50 instead as much as you want.
You want to be part of the entourage. It's $50 an hour.
Yeah, I should have did that. Yeah, that should have been. And you just followed her around the entire time, and it was a rough day. That was space in Columbus, Ohio. Dude just followed her around. I'm like, you have a table. What? People are walking past your table. You're following this chick around.
Is this a conga line or a Comic-Con?
Yeah.
And again, that was a few years back when, having a girl, a remotely cute-looking girl, was a unicorn at a convention.
That was 2019.
Oh, well, yeah. These guys are idiots. They should know.
But it was also mid-Ohio, so it's still kind of a unicorn situation.
These guys go, it's a girl.
It wasn't just a girl; it was an exotic girl.
Yeah,
that reminds me. Where are you guys from? I'm in Colorado.
Where in Colorado are you from?
Colorado Springs area.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Max, where are you broadcasting from?
Kansas City, Missouri, dead
Ooh,
center of the country.
There we are. Yeah.
I miss my Kansas City barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
JD's from New York City.
Yeah, I'm out of New York City.
Arthur Bryant's.
Arthur Bryant's my favorite. I love that place.
And everyone else here is from Michigan. Now, I did for a long time. A year and a half. I dated a girl that lived in Kansas. And I didn't know she didn't like the fact that I used to pick on her city. I went to go visit her. Okay, and I'll tell this story. And if she ever comes across this video, maybe she'll sue me. But I won't say her name. Here's the problem. Your boy. Okay, as I got closer and closer to Kansas, she started to she called me. She's like, "So you're really coming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Uh-oh." And I'm like, well, "What's the problem?" She's like, "So the picture I sent you isn't me." Yeah, so I'm like, now keep in mind, guys, this is like 2000, 2001, so catfishing is still fairly new.
It was new.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay,
it wasn't new, but it was new as a concept.
Yeah. And the closer I got to Kansas, the bigger she got. And I shouldn't say it. It's true. It's
the mirror not quite as big as they appear.
And
your preference.
But the weird thing was, I got there and I liked her by that point, so it was okay. I wasn't like, "Oh, you're horrible," but I didn't. What really pissed her off was that a year into our relationship, I started referring to her hometown like it really was. It was a rest stop. Like it's you pulled in, you got gas, you went to Walmart, you made a check into a hotel, and you got the fuck out of there.
That's the kind of town I grew up in. I spent 18 years of my life in El Dorado Springs, Missouri.
See,
100 miles south of Max. We didn't even have a Walmart.
Nope, just a gas station.
Casey's.
So see, I make jokes about Eric all the time. Well, she didn't like that. She was like, "You called my city a rest stop," and I'm like, "Because it says rest stop 2 miles, Bonner Springs, Kansas. It says that. I didn't say it. Your state said it."
I tell you, Casey's General Store has the best pizza, especially gas station pizza.
Yeah,
I've traveled.
It's a little greasy, but it's good. I can only handle 2 or 3 slices at a time, but I want more. I just know that if I eat any more, I'm going to be hurting myself.
You got catfished.
Yeah, I did. I got catfish.
And he stayed with her for a year, though.
Yeah, Nita says I pride Louisiana. Wow, what's wrong with me? LA. I stayed with her for a year, and it was but it was weird because man, it was a really quiet city, and I didn't know apparently that they have little baby bobcats running around.
Lots of bobcats out here.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, if you hear bobcat, don't worry about it." I'm like, "Look, I can deal with occasional pit bull, Rottweiler, bobcat. No, I can't deal with that. I'm in the house." So, it was all
coyotes.
You know what though? I'll tell you this,
dude. I've had bears walk by my house.
Isn't that far from me. It's only about like a 25-30 minute drive from here.
I'll tell you what's weird. I'll tell you what's weird, Max. Nobody gave the bobcats or any of the other weird stuff a second look, but I was a novelty.
Bonner Springs has the Renaissance Festival and the big stadium for all the concerts and stuff in it.
Yeah, I walked into their little bowling alley pizza place they had with her, and it was like, and I'm like, she has black classmates. I've seen them. I think they can like smell the Detroit on me. That might.
You ain't from around here, are you?
Yeah.
You were the unicorn. Yeah.
They probably never mind. I'll keep my mouth shut. But yeah, I will also from Indie World Radio right now, and I want to thank you guys listening. Right now, 75,804 listening on Indie World. I want to thank Egypt. I want to thank Australia, Ireland, and the other city will not populate with names. So I'm sorry.
Do we still have China?
No. They've been gone since we.
They yanked the plug a long time ago.
Somebody
talking bad about us, yank.
Oh yeah. Indie World Radio says, "Hey guys, I got a question for you. Had printed my book. Yeah. Okay. Had printed my book 4 times now with a printer. They cannot get the print files correct. Now they're saying it's my fault and refuse to reprint the books. The art is coming across as rather dark and unreadable. They're saying it's in my settings. Any suggestions?"
Well,
you gotta
make sure it's CMYK.
Yeah.
Because that changes your color palette.
Yep.
And that could change a lot of things. And if you already have it changed, then I would go to a different company and try to get them to set up a proof, like a digital proof, and see what you see it if it is coming across dark. If it comes across dark in 2 places, then the break point is yourself, and you'll need to look at your individual picture files, maybe brighten them up a bit. I don't know.
I think
one thing I would add to that, I go over this with my students a lot, is that if you're working on a screen, you're used to everything being backlit. And when you print something, you're piling ink on a piece of paper. So it is going to be darker every single time.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do by default before I send my pages to the printer is to automatically increase brightness and contrast, both like 10 to 15% on both, just by default.
Yeah, I had that recently happen. Loved it. We had a we have an ad. By the way, guys, did you know we're official now? We actually have an ad in the magazine, Comics Unlimited. From from Glenn Fleming, and in the newest issue, the Golden Age issue, if you flip through the book,
we're gonna have to clip that scene from The Jerk now, right? I'm in the phone book. I'm somebody now.
Yeah. There's an Indie Vote ad right there in the.
Blow that. Let me blow that baby up there.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Look at that. It's an Indie Vote ad.
A full page ad, even.
Yeah, now the thing is, there was imagery in there that you really can't see. I'm a poor designer. I should have sent it to Eric first. I should have sent it to Eric and said, "Hey, can you check this out first?" I didn't do that.
No, another thing I want to add to the color correction stuff. If you're in Photoshop, don't convert to CMYK doing the image mode CMYK, because that's going to tend to destroy your colors a little bit. You want to do edit, and you want to go down to the bottom where it says convert to profile. And what that's going to do is that's going to attach a color profile to your document that printers can read. And the Adobe CMYK default profile that's in there, most of the printers I've ever printed with, they know exactly what to do with that. So you're going to get pretty close to your colors if you do it that way.
Yeah. Another thing that I found that's really simple to do, if you have a printer, print the page out and take a look at it. You have a hard copy of that page and take a good look at it before you turn it in. And remember, even the paper coming out of your printer is probably going to be more a better print than what you're going to get on a massive web press.
I think it was JD who told me that even the paper you print on has a it will change the way that the ink soaks and it shows through.
But you'll be able to see some serious mistakes, and maybe it is settings. You just don't know. And the other thing is, I treat printers like I do baseball. After your 3rd strike, you should have been out. And found yourself another printer, because once is an accident, twice is a problem, 3 times, done, and you're out. Seriously,
you had your chance. 3 times you had your chance.
Yeah, and most of us are doing POD, so it's pretty easy to just get a one book printed out and sent over.
That's very true too. Yeah.
Meredith says one.
White ink wasn't whiter.
Yeah, she says, when I worked at the newspaper, we had to increase bright and contrast. Unsharp mask was popular. I had one editor ask me why the white ink wasn't whiter. Can you feel President has state. Now here's one anonymous. This is a pretty weird question from Indie Vote Radio. A statement, I guess, not even a question. I don't like it when jackasses deny you the credit you rightfully deserve when you work on their books. Going through retconning your contributions to their quote unquote legacy is BS. There needs to be some type of way to legally lock in who you are and what you did on a book, and and it should be actionable in court. I found myself screwed out of several credits because of greedy creators.
Yeah, there is. It's called a contract.
That person was anonymous. So
it's called a contract.
Yeah, that's true. But I found sometimes that the exact opposite has happened to me. You get up online and somebody has taken wild credit for stuff that they've done on your books in the past, and you have to go through after that and go, no, that person didn't do this. No, that person didn't do that. You need to take this off and change this here and that. But I understand the person's frustration. It's just that I've experienced it in the opposite direction.
Yeah, we always, in all of our contracts, we have a clause that they fill out how they want to be credited.
Yeah.
As their name. And then we choose, if it says flats, color flats, or colors, inks, pencils, blah, blah, blah. We give everybody gets credit. I think everybody that worked on something, they all should get some credit. Mm-hmm. Unless they tell me specifically don't put my name on it.
It's always nice to have a comic line where you can put what you did, what you're credited for. Mine is lacking, but I
didn't know Comic Vine was still a thing.
I didn't either, actually.
Yeah. It's always nice to have one of those if you possibly can. But weird thing about Comic Vine, I found out this week. I forgot I had one, and I noticed that
it's like a MySpace page, only worse.
Yeah, I noticed that my bio is wrote in the third person, and it's Variant Grant. He wished to pursue creator-owned control comics and thusly co-founded Last All Comics LLC. He also made several contributions to the independent comics industry by creating IndieVault.com, a website and company that focuses on independent entertainment. It's wrote in the past tense, and apparently I wrote it, but I don't remember writing that.
It's your obit. It's your professional obit.
I wrote my own obituary, guys.
Wow.
You're writing it like a wiki.
Yeah. I'm like, what did I don't remember writing that. I'm kind of weird. And I even asked I asked my wife, I'm like, did you sneak in there and rewrite that? Like just to play a game with me or something? No.
Varian is survived by the various projects he started but did not finish.
Yeah, the various projects. Let's see. Spy Tattoo says, yes, Zim. Proofs work well. I go through a little back and forth before I am finalized. Really, I guess I never have a final. You see, Spy Tattoo, you were working on tattoos for so long, so you didn't have that option.
Yeah.
Once you finished the art, it was over. Nita says, contract.
Yep.
Joe says it's called contract, and sometimes it's called work for hire contract. Be careful on what you sign contractual when it comes to credit. You can be taken off of a book. Won't say what I was gonna say, but I've seen people be taken off of books after the fact. After they were going, everything was great until the book got to the printer and their name wasn't on the book anywhere. But then we have a friend on the show that wow, Dread sounds a bit like my old pal, dearly departed comic maker Barry Blair. It's Rolling Man. Rolling Man now.
Well, thank you, and we need to highlight. This is a comment of the night.
I love Dreaded Dinosaur's voice. Yeah, it's
thank you, Denny.
It's a cross.
People are making revelations on our program all over.
It's Eric's voice is a cross between Starscream and it's gonna be Dr. Claw. No,
For my voice is destroyed because of scleroderma because I spent a year and a half vomiting everything I ate.
Yeah.
And the best thing about that is nobody says, yes, can I help you, ma'am, when I make a phone call. So I'm glad that's over with.
Yeah. But was that a problem before?
Oh yeah, it happened all the time because I had a pretty high alto voice. I could sing beautifully.
Mhm.
Now all I can do is sing grunge, which that's not necessarily a bad thing, but
I'll tell you guys something. It's funny. And my wife has picked up on this. Because I grew up in a house, especially after my father passed away, I would just watch my mom do stuff. And, mothers have a tendency to have their regular voice and then their answer the phone when it's business voice. So I would look at that and, starting from 12 years old, I would pick up on that. So I found myself doing it and going down to this really, like you said, or going up to this alto voice, and then Lola does it. Lola goes from Lola to suburban white woman in like 5 seconds, especially if it's the cops. Like Lola will be Lola, and then if the cops are involved, she's like, "Hello, how are you?" It's like, "Whoa, who's that?" That, but me, I found myself doing it. Answer the phone.
My fault. I grew up in Detroit.
Yeah, but when the cops are involved, you sound like you grew up in Bonner Springs, Kansas. Your voice changes completely. But for me, I would answer the phone. I would call people's houses and I would say, so normally, because we there, that's how I would answer the phone or ask. But for some reason, hello, can I speak to Eric, please? What's wrong? Why did I do that?
It's like that old Dave Chappelle bit. He's like, you ever talk to somebody and they're fake and that makes you fake? There's like they're like, hey, how are you? And you're like, great, how are you? It's like, I don't even talk like that.
Hello, can I speak to Eric, please? Like, what am I trying to be like
Hooks from Police Academy?
Yeah, like don't be don't be menacing. Don't be the menacing black man.
May she rest in peace because she passed away recently.
Yeah,
she did.
Zim probably remembers Barry.
Be as non-threatening threatening as possible.
I never met him directly, but I remember his talent. I definitely do.
I did date a girl who had a voice like that. It was pretty irritating when she would call me, Barry, what are you doing today? Like, stop talking to you on the phone is what I'm doing. Why do you want to go to the movies? Because the movies is quiet. I think you talk.
You can't talk during the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I got this old Hollywood grandma saying like I've been smoking for 20 years.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever had a problem though. I get called ma'am. I've told you guys a story about how a guy grabbed me by the waist from behind and leaned over and whispered in my ear because my hair was long, and he said, hey, sweetheart, that line over there is open. You can move right back over if it's not. And he moved me with his big, strong freaking hands to the right, and I could not stop it. Like, for some reason, I was totally under his sway as he moved me. And, I'm like, why is this happening? But I'll tell you guys something else. You can call me whatever names you want to call me. For the 15 or so seconds he held me, I felt so safe.
I don't know what this is, but I'm going with it.
Yeah, he held me in his arms. I was like, wow, so this is how it happens. I understand now. I get it. I'm gonna let this happen, see where this goes. My wife still doesn't believe him straight. She doesn't. At this point, I've been wildly irresponsible. So Randy, also from Indie Vote Radio. You're gonna love this one. Hi guys. Okay, my name is Cal, and my father has been trying to break into comics since the 1970s, 1972 in particular. He keeps trying to produce a comic. Each time he does, it never sells. How can I get him to get rid of this ridiculous goal and maybe find some fulfillment?
Oh man.
Wow, Cal.
He's been doing it since the 70s. There ain't no getting that bug out of his head.
He's stuck, so he needs to crowdfund his book. Start it small. Do a $250 crowdfund. You can do 25 books. It costs you $100 to get through Comics Wellspring.
Yeah.
And you might not make any money, but people will read your books, and that's the place to start. Get your foot in the door. Now is the time of the independent comic books. It is the independent renaissance.
Yep.
So you need to take advantage of that. Don't stop his dream, which is obviously his dream. He's been doing it for 72. That's what, 48 years, 49 years.
Yeah, it could very well be what's keeping him going too. So don't derail it. Don't derail it. If he's able to use technology at all, get him involved with all these malarkey people around me and myself online. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. And it helps to have a group of people to egg you on and to coach you and to give you pointers. I think of that. I think of our buddy, the 15-year-old kid. My gosh,
Yeah. And Cal, just keep in mind that's your dad. Your dad's been doing this since the 70s. He's not going to stop. He's not going to give up. And there's so many worse vices and so many even worse hobbies that he could be into, that you should embrace what he does, appreciate what he does, especially now that comic artists are starting to really be recognized for the art level that they actually do. He come up through a time when doing this was just some kid ratted in his basement, in his parents' basement a lot of times. And if he's giving you a decent life and he's still doing what he loves to do, don't knock that. Don't try to discourage that. Just accept it for what it is. Bring your friends around, say, this is my dad. He's a comic book artist, and watch their expression and see their face light up when he goes, he does comics. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, it is cool. So
the other thing I would wonder is, what was this guy's name that wrote in? Cal. Is that, is it Cal that thinks that he's not succeeding at this because he's not making money? Like, how does the dad feel? Is he content and happy trying to just make it, or is he wanting more? What is it that he wants? Does he want more money? Does he want people to see it?
For some people, they put out a book, they sell one copy, they're happy. They're part of the industry.
He can web comic the whole thing if he's been doing it that long.
Yeah.
Just put up a web comic, maybe a Patreon.
Yeah. Although I know a guy who worked on the book so long. It's not me. He's been working on the book since the early 90s. And the pages that he's drawn on, you can look at it. There's history in those pages, like where he's whited out stuff and then redrew it and white out on top of that as his skills got better. And the pages are starting to turn yellow. Right. That's how old they are.
Wow.
And he's gonna do this book one day, and he's got so many pages. He's got a nice stack of boards about that thick, where he's been working on this book since the 80s. The early 90s.
Sounds like Cal's dad's done a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah.
One of the questions I think we should look at is, like, we don't know what level he's at.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that he might actually be excelling in one portion of that. Like, he might be a really great writer. He might not be a great illustrator. You understand? So maybe it's time for him, to break it down and maybe get him involved with a few other individuals. He might be a great colorist. He might be a great inker.
Absolutely.
You understand? And join a team and maybe get him on a little team. So then that way he can expand, his horizons that way. We got someone joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, in the green room right now. Don't touch the M&Ms. They're stale back there in the green room. Ugh, nasty.
Looks like you put his own drink, so it's okay.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing. Who's going to do the introduction? Me? Randy?
You can do it.
Mr. Adam Post.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Great to see you. Why don't you tell me about the M&Ms
Welcome to the party.
They're all gone now. I ate all the M&Ms.
You
How
should.
are you guys doing?
Real good. You, Varian, you should read that statement to Adam and get his impression.
Yeah, hit me up.
Okay.
Put me to work.
Basically, it's from Cal. I've put it to the side now. It's all messed up. Cal is he wrote Kal, by the way. He's from Indievo Radio. He says, "Hi guys."
Before you go on, that could be short for Kal-El.
It could be. Do you think it's Nicolas Cage's son? Is that what's going on? That's Nicolas Cage's son's name.
Maybe.
He says basically he's upset because his father's been trying to break into comics since the 70s. And has been unable to. He wants to know how can he help his father put away this ridiculous goal and finally move past trying to be a comic book artist.
Harsh.
All right, that's a fair question. Now, the 70s to now, that's a long time to try to be doing anything. Comics has even changed like dramatically from then to now. Yeah. But obviously, if the guy is not in comics, but he's doing something else, or maybe he's even retired by now, because the guy's, I mean, I'm 50. I mean, and I was born in 70.
So that's 48 years of comic books.
Yeah. The guy deserves something for the effort. But the thing is, look, if it's a hobby, why even discourage somebody? You know, I mean, because let them do what they want to do. But what I thought you might be asking is, how can he get into comics? And there's actually a lot of ways he can, and it's probably something that he's not familiar with doing, especially if he's not into crowdfunding. So many people are doing comics now that otherwise wouldn't be doing comics because of crowdfunding.
Yep.
Includes me. I got out of it. I got back into it because of crowdfunding. So I would say, look, I don't know, obviously the whole situation or anything like that. Some people get obsessed with doing things and they're like, it really damages their life. But truthfully, there's really nothing wrong with a hobby like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. William Pate says you start with limited distribution. Thank you, William. He should.
Maybe drawing was that guy's way of not choking the kids to death.
Yeah, you don't know what function it served. Exactly. That might be everything keeping him away from mass murder.
Hitting the bottle. He could have been
I said there's a lot worse vices that he could have turned to. But Cal, keep in mind that like what Max had said earlier, once you get that first book in your hands, you decide there and then if you're going to keep doing this the rest of your life. And you, like Adam, you might get out for a little bit, but you're going to come back. He's going to come back. That's where he's happiest, is where he's doing comics. He might love the time he sits at the board because it lets him create and lets him get his, like we said earlier, get his frustrations out or tell the stories that he wants to say. So.
It's pretty harmless. It's pretty harmless being in comics, as long as you really are paying the bills, basically. And you're not like, I'm gonna. I was on with somebody on another stream, a Page One Comics stream. They had a creator in, and he was talking about getting started, and he's like, I'm even thinking about taking a loan so I can just get one of these name cover guys like the other guys do, and buy a cover like whatever the price is. And I stopped him, and I'm like, look, no shortcuts. Don't do shortcuts. Don't get into debts and things like that. Just work on your project, collaborate. This is the thing. If you're Comicsgate, there's so many other creators you can collaborate with. You can be on YouTube shows. You can talk about the process, see what's working for other people, and you can learn what other people are doing. This is not a time to be isolated. We in our homes, yes, but we can reach each other on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm at Comics We Love. So if you have a question for me about anything, you can always hit me up.
Go ahead, Brian.
You go ahead, because I got another question from Indievo Radio.
Well, before we go any farther, somebody needs to introduce Adam Post to the radio audience.
Yeah.
Adam, introduce yourself.
Do that.
Hey, well, thanks for the opportunity. I am Adam Post. I started publishing my first independent comic years ago when I used to be young at 16. I published G.I. Jackrabbits. So I love G.I. Joe, and nobody was doing an animal parody. And then I went on and did about another 1,000 different independent comics, all sorts of different independent comics. Got out of comics in the early 2000s and then got drawn back in because of crowdfunding and Comicsgate. And now there's a huge community of people that are, it's so cool to see different independent people. They're not trying to make millions or necessarily, they're just trying to put out their passion projects. Monster MD is one where Von Klaus worked on that. That's his real name, I think, for 10 years trying to get that book out. And he finally had a chance to do his passion project. Carl O'Rowe is this fantastic artist at a book called Death Sworn, and he's finishing it now. And I just love to see, like, each one of these people I talk to, I can see, like, they've been wanting to do it and working on it for years. And because of crowdfunding and because of our kind of hashtag Comicsgate Association, we're able to kind of make it happen, you know, each of us. And then everybody kind of develops their own little thing. So I'm a guy who started publishing comics in my teenage years. Some people helped me out. There's no other way a 16-year-old is going to be publishing comics and getting them into stores and stuff. And, you know, now I'm publishing my own comics, collegeofthedead.com, taking my College of the Dead project, zombie project, and another mermaids project called at epicmermaids.com called The Mermaids, which is like a Game of Thrones with mermaids. And I have other stuff I'm working on too. But, you know, that's the basic background on me, somebody who loves to be able to publish comics. And we're out there doing it now.
And you're currently crowdfunding your mermaid project right now, aren't you?
Yeah, the Mermaids is funded and it's in demand, which just means that people, if they want to, can still get it. It's going to be shipping April 2021, and it's the project that brought me back into comics. I wanted to do a different take on Game of Thrones. I wanted to do it with an extra fantasy element of it being in a separate mermaid world where you only saw mermaids. And there are royalty aspects of it, a lot of fantasy, beautifully designed characters. I didn't write it myself. I wrote it with 2 other writers and another editor who helped on it. And we spent like a ton of time developing it, like a ridiculous amount of time, because we didn't have a deadline. So think about having a deadline if you're going to work on a project, because you want to put the effort where it counts. So we really developed a massive world with it. And then I finally got, because of Comicsgate, able to publish it. So I'm excited to be putting it out.
From Indie Vote Radio, and I want to thank everybody listening. We still have not dropped. We still have 76,000 listening on Indie Vote Radio. Want to once again thank Australia and Ireland for being our top listeners for the night so far. Now from Indie Vote Radio, this is a good one. It's gonna get kind of spicy in here. I know me and Eric might start fighting. There needs to be a grading system for artists. So, and this is from Rich. There needs to be a grading system for artists. Some of you sons of bitches are insane with your pricing. If we had a grading system for like an artist that was like on a level 5, this person would know they have no business charging $150 for a page.
Nope.
So what Rich is suggesting is a grading system, a universal grading system for artists.
Based on a subjective idea?
Yeah. It's too subjective. Like, I've seen stuff that, I mean, and we all have, that you look at and you're like, wow, that looks like something that, you know, someone in you know, second, third grade makes, and yet it explodes on the internet, goes crazy. People pay a lot of money for it, whatever it is. You can't grade that stuff. You know, it's just if people are willing to pay for it, then they're willing to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, if I could give you a contribution to that, I've bought a lot of work from a lot of freelancers over the years, and I've had name guys, mostly doing covers. My biggest accomplishment with name guys is, well, there are a couple of great guys doing covers. Adam Hughes did some, Kelly Jones did one. So with some great people. But when you're buying art, you have to keep in mind too, like, different artists are at different stages in their career. You know, there's some art that's objectively freaking amazing, like Todd McFarlane, but he's not working for money. You know, he works for his own thing. You know, so you're never going to get a Todd McFarlane drawing for you. But you can get excellent, amazing artists that might cost like $500 a page, and then you can get some artists that can do that super top tier $500 page work, and they're willing to do it for $150. or even some people for 100 a page. But part of it is, you know, what is the style that you're looking for what the project is, right? Because if you're doing something, some books work with a cartoony-ish look. Some need a very realistic look. And then there's another aspect of some freelancers need work and have nothing to do. And guys who normally would get 100 to 150 a page might be willing to take work at 75 a page if that's what your budget is, as long as you can pay on the regular and you're easy to work with good instructions. So you don't, first of all, when it's sort of like when a man meets a woman, you know, you pick what you like, what you're looking for. They get to say if they like it or don't like it. And sometimes it's luck and sometimes it's timing. Yeah. So just know if you're the publisher and you're hiring people, know what your budget is and know what kind of work experience that you can offer to the artists or the writers that are working on it. Meaning, are you prepared as a publisher? I try to get very organized when I hire people to do work, because the easier I make it for them, the more value is in it when I hire somebody. Because if I make them do rewrites and extra work and redraw and all this stuff, it's very frustrating. Time gets wasted, and then it's not worth it. Sometimes it's not even worth it, no matter how much you're paying.
And I want to piggyback on what Adam said there about it's like picking a man or woman. You could do what I did. You wait until your wife has been beat up by society just enough. She ran into so many shitty guys to where you look great. And so you let your artist get screwed over so many times they don't get paid. All of a sudden now you're the good person. That's what I would do.
You could trick a chick.
Yeah,
you could lie to them. but the truth is, obviously, treat women with respect at all times. But I just had to say that. But
hey, public service announcement.
The thing is, you have to consider your reputation when you're working with people. You know, sometimes you can do everything you promise, and still people are going to say bad stuff about you. There are people that do that, but it's rare. So for the most part, like, look, don't be surprised. Somebody's making a comment about I was an F-rated artist when I started, made my way to being a D-rated. Granted, this is my own grade for my work, but grading an artist is too subjective. It really is subjective. What you do is this. Try not to be somebody's first assignment. You want to see a proven success. So someone can show you, I drew this. Here's 40 pages. Here's 100 pages I drew for this other project. How long did it take you? Did you like the project? How did the publisher treat you? Were they cool? Because if they say bad things about the publisher, they're probably going to say bad things about you. You'd be understanding. But you want people that can show you what they can do and then can just replicate it. And then there's no surprise.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things about the consumer, too. Like, when I was younger, I know, like, I didn't like brutalist architecture. I just thought it was kind of silly. But now as I've gotten older, I'm like, that looks like a spaceship. And, that looks like that building looks pretty cool. I mean, it's all cement. That's kind of neat. And it looks cool. So it's my taste has changed over time. So the artist has to hit everybody's taste at the same time. So it's a very hit or miss, luck of the draw type of thing.
The hormonal balance around here is going to shift because any princess has to leave. She's got to go to bed because she has to wake up and get stuff ready for Geekgasm tomorrow night.
We're running long.
Which for the first time, Randy and I won't be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't be there. Yeah, we won't be there.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome, Randy. I got a whole other chicanery plan. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna run a counter program to their show.
We'll bury them.
Lola, you have a great night. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
You guys have a good night.
Yep. Take care.
I feel like she's mad at me.
No. She's not feeling well. She's right behind me.
Oh, okay. Good. As long as she's not mad at me.
No. Yeah, she just said nobody. No, she wasn't feeling well earlier today, so it was cool to have her on here for a while and to insult me. But now, from Indie Vote Radio, one other question for you guys, and this is the last one from Indie Vote Radio for the night. And this one is JD might get upset about this one.
Oh,
yeah. So check this out. This is, you guys will like this one. How dare these F-heads, I'm sorry, insinuate
DBMA DLSV, we're
after 11. These fuckheads
we resemble that remark. Yep.
That New York is the cornerstone and the birthplace of comics. Anybody worth their salt knows that the home of comics currently and forever has been Seattle.
Why? Because of Fantagraphics or something?
That's Gary Gross. I'm gonna have to. Wow. I'm gonna have to hear some statistics on that, because I mean, when you look at like the big two, Marvel and DC, and their big offices, and everybody working in New York, that's what most everybody thinks of when they think of comics.
Yeah, we interviewed Rick Stacy on our show, and he was talking about doing all the stuff with Superman back in the day, and he was talking about going to New York.
Yeah, New York has always been kind of like the core.
To talk to DC, and then they went over and talked to Hostess, and then they went back and talked to DC, and they went back and talked to Hostess, and they were like this middleman trying to figure out how much money they could get to make these comic books for Superman.
JD, I can see you kind of tight. I can see you got some emotions on your chest. Go ahead.
I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's the center of the universe. I don't have to say anything else about that.
Boom.
You understand? I mean, Seattle, we know where it's at. It's all the way on the other side. There's a reason for that.
It's wet. It's drippy.
Right.
There's coffee. That's all I know.
You know, they're on the right side of the country. They're on the wrong side of the country. That's all I can say. But no, Seattle has some good books. I think Dark Horse is out of there, so I give him some credit.
Portland, Dark Horse was out of. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think
that's a good controversy starter. Whoever sent that one.
Yeah.
Seattle's cool because it's in Shadowrun.
I'm sure it's a nice place to visit.
I think Seattle is Fantagraphics, and Fantagraphics is the core, hardcore of indie comics, publishing in the 80s, staying in business by miracle because it's so hard to publish comics and stay in business. Gary Groth and Kim Thompson started it. They published Amazing Heroes, Comics Journal, but a lot the Hernandez brothers, I think is their names.
Yeah.
A lot of great creators. So pretty fantastic, passionate guys. And Kim is gone now, but Gary, I saw him on a stream the other night, and I was like, Jesus Christ, the guy's got to be 60 plus. He looks fantastic. Cool. So he's taking care of himself. So just keeps making comics.
I pulled mermaids up here. Let's take a look. Can I play the video? Is it?
Oh yeah, it's cool. No, nothing crazy in there. Just a minute. Nice music. Yeah, right. No, it's not.
Here we go.
Starts fired up. Waka chicka, waka chicka, waka chicka.
Whoa.
No.
They always get their arms bit in my comics.
There's sound effects from the characters screaming and stuff. It sounds like goes chopping out. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah. There's women screaming and stuff in there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, thanks. That's Ted Zagaro did that for me. I use him for all my trailers. The College of the Dead one is a pretty badass trailer too. And this project is just it's a whole fantasy world. It's a Game of Thrones style, and it features this one character, Jonna, who starts out as a teacher and then gets wronged and decides to go after one of the mermaid queens for revenge. And she really just kind of leaves this simple life of being a teacher and then starts to train to use a weapon. And the story just opens up for this tremendous stuff. Roland is right. Dark Horse is in Oregon. I don't know if you guys know Roland, man.
Yeah.
We've had him on the show a couple times.
Yeah.
Great guy, editor. A lot of stories in Roland. I have to talk to him. I got to catch up with him one of these days.
I remember I was on a stream with Roland, and I'm geeking out because I'm on a stream with Roland Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Randy, I'm on a stream with Roland Man. And I send Randy a link, and Randy comes in, and Roland's like, holy crap, it's Randy. And I'm like, holy crap, it's Randy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a great feeling as we kind of all get to know each other and spend more time on each other's shows. I do a show too. Definitely, if you guys want to check. I just do like one comic project a night, 9:00 every night. AdamPostSpeaks.com. It's my YouTube channel. So that's great. But yeah, I love talking to other creators. It's really exciting. I had Graham Nolan on the other night. And he's fantastic. He's so interesting. And his first job was a writing job that he also got to draw in the 1980s for DC. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you really, like when he talks about his projects he's doing now, and he's just full crowdfunding. We got him for crowdfunding. So he's crowdfunding only now, which is great. And just his projects. And his writing is excellent. It's so interesting the way he talks about the character relationships and the stories. And you don't always get that from artists that start, writing and drawing their own stuff, because it's a different, they're looking at the visual and the story. He's looking from the story and then the visual on top of it.
Spice Tattoo says, haha, that little vid even ran well. Great art, shock factor, gore. Did I see Mermaid's arms getting bit off? You did.
Yeah, a shark bites her arm off. It's funny. I didn't even notice this. If you want to look at collegeofthedead.com, there's this girl in a bikini top who's getting her arms bitten off by zombies. And somebody was like, what's going on with you? And like, what's funny was those were just done at a very different time, but they were both my ideas, I guess. I didn't have to talk to a professional.
Props for the shark mermaid. I love shark stuff, and that grabbed me. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that before. That's cool.
Let me pull up what you're talking about here. Hold on, I don't pull that up.
Yeah, I don't know what my problem is. I'm going to talk to a professional.
Yeah, there she is. She's getting her own.
People getting their arms eaten is just your thing. It's all right.
That's the party cover. Yeah. That trailer is better than the other. I mean, that trailer is like, I don't know if I'll ever do one as good as that one, but collegeofdead.com. This one's still available on Indiegogo. It's book 1 and book 2, and it's where college costs you an arm and a leg.
I must say, Adam, you're a very disarming person.
Yeah, I'm very disarming. I don't know why. Oh, now I know what you mean. Yeah, people should be worried about me.
Now your other campaign. Let me see. Let me go back. I'm bouncing back and forth between campaigns here.
Sure.
The Mermaids book. You've got a couple different tiers here. There is one that is so $25 for the basic one, right?
The basic one is $25. I did 4 different cover versions. I do love variant covers, and I can never just kind of choose one. Mm-hmm. And the artist who did this mermaid with the daggers and the whole Muka effect and the Art Deco. That was supposed to just start out as a character design, but this is such a good reference and callback to what we were talking about earlier with different artists at different rates. This is an artist who I found on Facebook. I was looking for someone to do character designs for mermaids because I that's how I was going to develop the concept. I knew what I sort of wanted to do, but it wasn't written and fully developed. So it helps the creative process to get character designs going. And then you have a visual reference. Things start to exist that way. So I found this guy, Jerry Gertrudia on Facebook, and a really nice guy. He was drawing these fairy characters, and they were all these different kinds of fairies, and they're so interesting looking and like unique looking. And I was like, that's perfect for mermaids. I know what I'm going to get for this guy. I know what I'm going to get as a publisher and as a creator if I hire an artist who's already shown they can do this job. It's just a little different. And sure enough, he was so good at it that I just kept him working. I needed like 4 or 5 character designs. I wound up buying like 30 from him because they were just fantastic. And he was so good, it moved the story along. And then we did 2 other covers by Javier Aranda, who was my artist from College of the Dead. I asked him to do 2 covers, and he obliged, which was really great. I love Javier's work too, and I wanted to kind of bring him in on the project. But people like both. They like both styles. And then the third artist did the interiors. And this book is like a little bit, it's almost treasury size. It's 8 by 10. So it's a little wider than a typical book. And it'll complement the 6-panel pages better. But this other artist also just did a great job of making the mermaids look unique and capturing their expressions and just really turning them into real people.
And I see that you got a tier for one of everything, $3.45.
Well, one of everything is like all the College of the Dead and the variants. I like to do these making of books. I'm very passionate about the process of making it. I find it really interesting. If you want to scroll down a little bit to the bottom, you'll see it. But in the making of book, we do a 100-page book, and that's got the full script because we work full script when we make comics. Got the full script with the directions and any photo reference to the artist, and then the rough layouts that we approve of the artist before we say, yeah, go make the final book. And then we've got another 20 more designs of Jerry's that just look amazing that are going to essentially be like pinups in the book for the making of book. And the making of book's like a $25 tier as well. So a lot of people do get the making of book because, it's like that DVD notes. You get to see like how the thing really came together.
Yeah. So for our international audience, this book is shipping worldwide. And shipping in April 2021, so not that long. It is currently in demand on Indiegogo, the Mermaids comic book. And these are pretty mermaids. These aren't like those mermaids that I read in that recent. I seen in a movie, some B movie, but they were all gnarly looking and
not like the gnarly, creepy siren ones. These are they're pretty. We're not going to do a book with all women in it and not make them pretty. You have to make them pretty, except the one that turns their head into a shark and bites people's arms.
There you go. Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but I gotta get going.
All right, Max.
Yeah, Max. Before you leave, though, tell folks how they can get a hold of you.
Oh, it's super easy. It's at Mary Machine Gun on Twitter, at Mary Machine Gun on Instagram, and then Facebook.com/Mary Machine Gun.
All right, and make sure that I'll make sure that there's a link to your site in this video as well.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
All right.
Good seeing you, Max.
Good night, Max.
Ever have a spot open up again?
Oh yeah, you're always welcome.
Oh yeah,
Max. Believe me, you're always welcome. Just let us know when you want in, and we'll send you a link.
Yeah, anybody that comes on the show, they have an open invite.
Absolutely.
Oh, very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to meet you,
Max. Because we want to keep track of your campaigns too. You got to, come back on and let us know when you got something rolling.
That's where I'm going right now, is to start putting together all the stretch goal packages to put inside the boxes. They put inside the Gemini envelopes.
Cool.
So that's what I'll be doing here.
All right.
All right, Max. Have a great night.
Good night,
Thanks
Max.
again for coming on.
Thank you.
See you.
We've been talking about the business of our Kickstarters, but and crowdfunding programs. But Lola just ordered a bunch of Gemini mailers. She's very upset about it because it costs a lot of money. She's like, it could be. I told her, I said, the money you're spending on the Gemini mailer, you're gonna save in how much you would have had to, send out replacement books.
I wish you'd have said something because I could have kicked in with you for some.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I'm sorry. If I'd have known, I would have. Yeah. Matt,
the more you buy, the cheaper they are, right?
Yeah. Matt, were you gonna say something? I'm sorry, I stepped over you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a favor to ask.
Sure.
My Kickstarter doesn't launch until February 24th. This is our 7th issue, but I've been doing this pretty much by myself as far as setting up the Kickstarters, all that stuff for a while. And so I was wondering whether, I don't know how much time you have left in your show, but if I said I have the preview link, if you guys would mind taking a look at it and seeing like what you think, what I could improve.
Yeah, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, they're in the private chat. Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Cool. Drop it in there. We'll take a look.
Let JD take a look. He He loves destroying my dreams now. I tell you guys, Stench isn't here. Let me show you guys what Stench, by the way. Before we do that, Stench Meets Day. They got me all types of triggered on Twitter. No, it didn't trigger me. But anybody who
it triggered you, he sent it to you on purpose because he knew it would trigger you.
Anybody who
That's
knows
hilarious.
What happened? Randy and I were sitting at a convention. I've been riding Randy's coattails of fame for a while. And we were sitting at a convention, and I had it was Randy, and behind Randy, I think 2 tables over is Jim Shooter. Well,
oh yeah,
I'm like, I want to get a picture taken with Jim Shooter, like looking at my art book and really like giving me like hell over my art book, just like
the evil eye.
Yeah. So Randy's looking at my artwork. He says, "Oh, those are nice leaves," and I said, "Those aren't leaves; those are feathers." And he says, "Oh, well, he said, those aren't feathers. You need to fix them." So I freaked out and erased everything and like started redrawing. Every feather in the book had to be redrawn at this point because Randy made it look like leaves.
He took that critique to the 9th degree.
Yeah. So it took me off the book for a year. The book's a year late now.
Yeah, you blame me. That's okay.
but it was funny too because after that I took the book over to Jim Shooter and I said, "Can we just do this picture where you look like you really just like going in my ass about like my artwork?" And he looks at it. He says, "Yeah," and he takes the picture and he says, "Ladies, is this your art?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "It's good stuff." So I went back with my chest puffed out. Yeah. Like I walked past Randy, like, Jim Shooter likes my artworort, Randy.
Are you good? Has he gone soft? Are you good?
How much did you pay him?
Yeah, Jim was not feeling well that day. He may have been may have been the NyQuil talking.
Good, but leave me alone. No, that's fantastic. I love Jim Shooter stories.
Didn't sent me this on Twitter. And
I think when you draw, quick.
And I'm gonna kill him. I'm just kidding. But let me. I brought up that. Let me look at this art that you just. The link you just put in Kickstarter here. Let me read it up.
This is my preview, so hopefully it works.
All right, Mythica. There we go. All right. Oops. Let me open that up.
So you're up to book 7. That's great.
Yeah, the first 6 are collected in a graphic novel called Darkness Rising, and so this starts a new chapter.
Did you do the first 6 individually or just as the graphic novel?
Both. We did them individually first, and then collected them.
Excellent.
And the collected Kickstarter was the last one we did, and it did really well.
Congratulations! That's awesome.
This time, I'm hoping to. I'm setting a goal more based on backers. I'm trying to like get more than 200 backers this time, and so we have a lot of stuff because we can add on like what you can get this book, but you can also get the previous book added on to it. Just wanted to get a little feedback. Yeah,
it looks good. There's nudity in this book. It was blurred out, but
is that all your art?
Thankfully,
yeah, it is. And yes, there is nudity in this book.
You're inching through.
It's for mature audiences all over the place.
We have tasteful blocks set up over top of the naughty bits. So.
Yeah, I do like a woman in striped pants. I like the vertical striped pants.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
What have you been getting feedback from backers that say, "Hey, you know what? I like this." And then suggestions like, "Hey, do you do another variant cover or different type of adventures or any feedback they give you?"
No, actually, that's one of the things that I would say I struggle with the most is really, even on my Patreon, I've got a pretty good following on Patreon, just getting people to really talk about the story or more about what they want. It's always just the same. Hey, this is cool. This is awesome. I like it. Here's my money. I'm like, hey, I appreciate it, but I want to know what you guys think. Because, like, I don't think most people, especially people that aren't creators themselves, which is why I wanted to share this with you. I don't think most people who aren't creators like understand that you've poured yourself into this, And
well, look, you got to go backwards from this, if I may, as a 50-year-old man publishing comics. Like I just freaking love comics. So I'll never get out of comics. But your customers You know, thank God for the customers. They back it. Maybe they back it because they think it looks cool. Maybe they think it's collectible. Maybe they read it. Maybe they never even read it. You know, I mean, I have people that back College of the Dead with the girl with the bikini top or whatever. They buy it. They look at the cover. I don't know if they even read it. And whatever they decide to do with our books, they decide to do with our books. We can't change that. And if there's nothing that jumped out at them in the story, of course it's on us. You know, we need to think about like, well, how do we do something that really resonates and engages people from a reading standpoint? Honestly, the first book I wrote was the first one I published, G.I. Jackrabbits. I've done very little writing, a good amount of creating, coming up with an idea for a character and then collaborating with other people, but not even doing the writing. And the reason why is I have a very heavy reverence for the guys who do each of the tasks that make the books. And I feel like I don't want to mess it up. But I have been studying writing, you know, pretty intensely over the last few weeks where I'm like, oh, now I understand this. Now I understand John Wick better. Now I understand The Godfather better. Now I understand these things better. So there's ways of getting people more invested in our characters. And there's a lot of screenwriting videos that are just excellent on YouTube. And I've been referring to a lot of them. Film Courage is a great site for that. They have just so many great interviews and like bits and pieces. They reference comics-based movies all the time because comics, I think, are so iconic from a storytelling standpoint. So in seriousness, I would say there's something wrong with us, you know, as the creator, when we're not getting what we want, because we can always control and change whatever it is that we are doing. We can't change how people respond. Now, another thing is, I don't know what you're doing for social media, but people do love YouTube. You know, if you're on YouTube now, so do you have YouTube channel?
I do, yeah.
So where's a live stream talking about Mythica 7 is coming? I want to talk about it with you guys. You know, you can do that and email everybody, message them all on Kickstarter. If only 5 people show up, it's fine. Those are the most dedicated people. And from 5 begets 10, begets 20. And that's what starts to get people interested. And sorry to keep talking, but I have information to tell you. I want to tell you this too.
Adam, if we wanted to stop you, we just talk over you.
Shut up.
You're good. Keep going.
Okay, well, talk over me when it's time. It'll be time. There's another thing that people do so successfully and with YouTube when you're an artist. I'm not. I can't. But if you're an artist and you're producing this beautiful work that I'm seeing on your page, and I'm seeing a lot of cool, fun stuff here, you can do a live drawing stream. And don't say I know I should. Effing, you got to do it, brother. Because like I've seen my friend do it. My friend Kirk Lindo just started doing it. He does the Luxura books, and he sometimes have like just 3 or 5 people watching him, but he has links to his digital comics in there. He has links to his collections and stuff that people can buy, and his Patreon. And they go on to see him and spend time with him. People, your fans that buy your books, they want to be you too. They want to make their own books. They want to be able to interact with you. So if you can have a live stream where you're just drawing a page and just look at what other people are doing. Look up Kirk Lindo. He just started doing it. He's no expert at it, but he's just like maybe talking about what he's doing. People don't expect it to be high intensive stuff, but it's like going to a Comic-Con and being able to sit next to a creator who's doing a book that you know about. And it's such a cool way to be able to give something back and give something to the people who support us that they enjoy and they can kind of get inspired by. Because if you can give people a cool comic, your concept is cool. I'm looking at Mythica Darkness Rising, the black and white piece or whatever from your campaign, and it did do well. Congratulations. But it's very cool art. If you can draw that in front of people live, and draw things you know they want to see. You have a pretty character. Draw things you want to see that will wind up in the book anyway. This is going to have so much more engagement. You know, it's going to cause a lot of engagement and sales right away. If you have books to sell, you're going to sell more books. You know, so my advice is the more engagement that comes from us as creators is the more engagement we're going to get back from our backers.
And Matt, you'll have to come back on when you launch it. Even what day you plan on launching again?
February 24th.
24th. What day is that? I don't have my calendar.
I think it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday. Well, okay. So yeah, come back on Tuesday, the day before, and we'll hype it up here.
I actually have another podcast the night before.
Those podcasts don't matter. I'm just kidding. No, but no, I mean, we'll get you back on, and even if you're not here, we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about you badly at that point too. But he's not here. He's doing more.
Oh yeah, I can slander him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If he's not here, then I'm man enough to say anything. I got more criticisms.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. I have no criticism.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. I like. Eric said, "I'm a sucker for striped pants." I think it's gonna be. I think this is another one I'm gonna have to. Now there is. I was looking at your campaign. There is a. Did I see a tier of everything to catch up with the story?
There's a couple of those.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I was gonna make sure that.
Whoa.
I need to get it. Yeah, that was all blurred out. That was all
blurred out. It's squared out.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
If you're gonna scroll slow.
Actually, that one right there that is right next to her, that's one of them. So for like $50, you get a physical copy plus a physical copy of Darkness Rising.
Okay.
That one below it is something I think that we might be the first that I know of to offer. I've partnered up with a friend of mine who makes these custom frames. I actually have one of them hanging on my wall right here. So if you want to expand my thing real fast, these are custom frames that are designed to have a slide in, so you can change them out at shows or whatever. And she makes them for comic book size, and then she also makes them for 11x17 and a bunch of other sizes. So what we're doing with this campaign is that one particular tier there that was like $69. You get this frame with it, and since there's no glass in it, it's not too difficult to ship.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already got her business set up for shipping. She knows all the costs, so all I'm going to be doing is like sending her the books, and she's going to put them inside and ship it herself. And then we've also got that for the big one at the bottom, which is we call it the executive producer, but it's the original cover art from the cover, as well as it's framed in that big 11x17 frame, and then it also gets all the books, multiple prints, stuff like that. But
I was noticing when we made your screen big, you have the Tomb Raider Witchblade comic back there.
Oh, I got all kinds of comics.
That's another book that I buy every time I see it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have a, but
Variant's attracted to shiny covers.
Yeah, shiny covers, and Mike Turner art, Andy Park art.
I was gonna say, when that Andy Park, he's awesome. I love his stuff. If you also too, like, this time around with my video, I really I was so busy and tired, like making the book and just dealing with COVID stuff, that I went with a very like movie trope kind of trailer thing, and I showed it to my apprentice I was telling you about earlier, and he laughed. He's like, "It's kind of cheesy, but it's cool."
Well, let's see. Let's check it out. Let me see. I think I got the sound already.
Yep.
Sounds like a VHS tape from the 80s.
Yeah, it does. That's cool though.
I want everyone to take special time to look at the credits. Story by an artist who probably shouldn't be writing. That is.
Oh my God, is that you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you know what? In all seriousness, do watch some of the like Film Courage. Look at some of their YouTube because there's some really simple stuff that you're like, oh wow, I could just do that.
Well,
And it'll
I've watched probably every show they have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you should be writing. You know what to do.
I teach comic storytelling, storyboarding, and concept art at school. I mostly just put that in there as a
You
joke.
got some very impressive work, and the video is very engaging.
I like the music. It felt a lot like those road trips of Eric, where Eric puts on a new Norwegian death metal band who I've never heard of, and we're going down the expressway through mountains, and the beat is just getting louder and louder. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
And your head banging like Wayne and Garth.
Yeah, it just. Yeah. There was once me and Eric drove through what I'm pretty sure was a hurricane. One night, coming back from Kentucky. Remember that, Eric? And we didn't slow down at all. We were just still. Everyone else is like slow down, pull off. Me and Eric doing 60. Just we die. We're artists.
I think that's when I lost that hubcap.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. That was.
Well, that music, it's funny. If you look down there, it says music by McLean McGuire and Jason Boyling. So when I was working on the first 6 issues, McLean McGuire did the lettering, and he's down in Texas. And he had a small company that kind of introduced me into the comic book world called CCP Comics. And I think like 2 campaigns ago, I was like, hey, I need some music that's copyright free. And back then I didn't really know like where to go to just find it. Now there's a lot of it, like on Spotify and stuff. But he had a band, and his band's, fairly big, big down there. And they hadn't done anything in a while. And so he goes into the studio and starts playing this guitar riff. And for this track, just for me, just to play around, and the drummer was like, "Hey, what are you working on?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this thing for my buddy for his comic." And then the drummer jumped on and did that drum beat, and this little side thing for me ended up being the thing that like re-inspired them to make their next album, because they ended up getting back into something fun. But I've used that same music like 3 times now. It's becoming like the Mythica music, because I just haven't had the time or energy to like go track down some other high energy music that's copyright free.
It sounds pretty good, guys. We are approaching the end of our show, but I am very happy that you guys are all here tonight. Hopefully, you see a jump in your campaigns. We gotta reach an audience tonight. 79,841.
Awesome. Appreciate everybody listening.
On Indie Vote Radio. Listen, folks, you too can be a part of listening on Indie Vote Radio. It's simple. Download the Indie Vote Radio app on Google Play, or if you have an Apple iPhone, you can download the Stream app and listen to it that way. You can also ask Alexa to play it for you, and if ask her very nicely, of course, because you must respect her, and she will play it for you as well. You can also listen on indievote.com right at the bottom of the screen, or right there in the page. There's a player for the Indie Vote Radio app. Also, if you're looking for some entertainment on the television, Indie Vote TV on the Roku. You got Roku and Able Television or device. Look up Indie Vote TV. We got some independent movies there, streaming, all kinds of good stuff. There's some independent wrestling up there, and I just put some new stuff up there that will be available Thursday afternoon, because they have new settings now where now you have to wait. You just can't be. It doesn't go instantaneously anymore. I wish it did, but now you have to wait. So that's fine. We can wait. Also, Indie Vote. If you got questions for Randy, you want to make Randy triggered. You want to tell Eric, no, he should never You should never have that camera view again, which I do love. I love Eric's camera view. IndieVote Live at indievote.com. Email us over there. Include IndieVote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails 90 words or less so I can put them on those little cards that we like to read off of. And
keep it pithy. And keep it pithy, and don't forget to mention if you like my voice, because I really enjoy those.
That will issue.
Also remember, folks, no question is too serious. No statement is too silly. We welcome everybody to this program, especially if you're having a problem. We're here to help you get through that, because remember, our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag IndieVote.
Oh, we're evil. Guys, where can they find you at? Let's start with we'll start with Adam. Adam, where can they find you at online, our listeners?
Why don't you pull up Adam's campaign while he's talking too?
Hit me up.
Let me see here. I believe I can do that.
I'm at adampostspeaks.com. That is my YouTube channel, and I speak 9 o'clock every night with a new project, and then we joke around and have some fun, of course, too. So check out adampostspeaks.com, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also at Comics We Love on Twitter. And that's me.
And that's the Mermaids comic book over on Indiegogo.
That's the Mermaids comic. It is like a Game of Thrones with mermaids. It is a full color book. It's 48 pages. It's going to be shipping April 2021. It is funded. It's still available in demand, which means you can get it, and it will also ship as if you got it during the campaign. Also, collegeofthedead.com will take you to my campaign, College of the Dead, where college costs you an arm and a leg. And that is funny, but it's a serious book. It's a zombie apocalypse set on a college campus. And the reason I did that book was because why the hell didn't someone do a zombie apocalypse on a college campus? I was like, this is too obvious. I got to do it. And it came out great. I love how it came out. We have 2 of those books, and they are in print now, and they're shipping now. So it's College of the Dead and epicmermaids.com.
Very good. Very good. I got to back them. Man. Gotta get that mermaid book.
Well, it's funny. You were doing a feedback. I don't know. We were going back and forth about something on Twitter, which was funny. I forgot what it was, but Twitter is great. You just get to meet all kinds of new people. It's great to meet you guys too. I really wasn't aware of the show. I feel bad. I didn't. There's so many people doing so many shows now, but it's very cool. You're on Roku, and you're here, and you're there, and you're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's our internet reach that gets really crazy.
Yeah.
We get a lot of international friends.
I'm always freaked out some mornings when I get someone. I'm like, this is a bot, and I realize it's a real person.
Well, you know what? There's so many supporters and backers of mermaids. I think at least half of them are international.
Wow.
It's really great. It's so cool. It's like Netherlands and Israel, and a lot with College of the Dead as well. But particularly with mermaids, people just seem to like the fantasy element, whatever it is. You never know. You find your audience, you work at it, and you just keep doing your thing.
Yeah,
keep it up,
Mr. Calderon. Who, by the way, I owe like a big apology to.
Why now?
I realized that I first of all, I was reading Oswald, Chronicles of Oswald, and I'm like, holy shit, JD can write. I'm like 4 issues in. I'm like, yeah, I guess I should be. I guess I should listen.
So he's saying he's been patronizing you for so long now.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I think I told you that there used to be people when I was in the game actually would call me, offer me money to write things for them.
By the way, that is how you know you are good at something.
Yeah.
All right. So when someone sincerely, and I talk to my friends about, I try to make I never want to insult anybody's work. I know I have incredible limitations. I'm not great at everything. I'm only good at 1 or 2 things. But if someone is willing to pay you for what you do,
right.
You're good. You're good. You're worth money. And it's like, if they're like, oh, I really love your writing. Nah, I don't want you to draw it. But I really like how you write. Or vice versa. I really like your art. Well, I could write it too. Like, you know what? Thanks. But we actually had someone else in mind. It's like, well, that could be just a hint, but it's like, probably not. But yeah, they offer you money for what you do. You're good at it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I've been patronizing them all this time, but
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know,
I was handsome, so you know.
Well, I always thought it was the pretty pictures getting me over anyway. So
it was
that's what it is. Anyway, so I'm JD Calderon. I can be found on Facebook under JD Calderon. Same thing on the Twitter. Same thing on the DeviantArt. I have a YouTube channel called Indie Comics Explained, also under JD Calderon, where I get together with various artists. I interview them. So guys, Adam, Matt, you guys are always welcome. Eric, I still got to get you on.
Yes.
You know, and in a few weeks, 1 or 2, because I'm a little, I don't do these, I do these things, but you know, the Oswald Chronicles is coming back to Kickstarter, right? Because you can't keep a good mouse down. There you go.
Nice. There you go.
All right. So
nice.
Thank you. I've been, you know, I heard Adam speak, and I think, I mean, you probably started a few years before me, but I started self-publishing in 91, 92.
Yeah, okay, a couple of years ahead. But same
and
around
what's funny is I bought your book years ago.
Which one, J. Jackrabbits?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people remember J. Jackrabbits. That's why I got to agree to it. I was on with Dan Fraga. We were talking. He's like, I'm like, yeah, and I did G.I. He's like, you did G.I. Jackrabbits? Because he bought every like animal book and stuff like that. And people have seen it. We sold like 15,000 copies, which wasn't really big numbers back then. But they got around. It's really cool. And that really was like that was the first thing. So it was like, yeah, it's kind of got to come back. It's not on schedule, but it is written. The redo is written. But thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, no, it was great.
And Matt, where can they find you at, sir? I'm gonna bring the campaign back up too while we're doing that.
So the biggest place is actionlinestudios.com. That's my publishing company that we are producing Mythica through. And we have an upcoming book called Ruination that we're going to be publishing there. So yeah, you can get there at actionlinestudios.com. Also on Facebook at Actionline Studios. And then you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Matt Campbell Art, all one word. I'm not on Twitter too much. I have an account, but I generally don't ever go there. I found that like there's just so many different social media platforms I can deal with at a time. I am reaching the point now though where it's like things have expanded enough that I'm starting to like look to hire other people. 'Cause when I first started, I was doing everything myself. The first whole book is just my art and color. You know, I didn't get to the point where I could afford a colorist until later. But I'm excited now because we're finally getting to that point, and now the books are going to come out even faster.
Very cool. It is a great feeling. You know, as long as you want to make sure if people are backing you each time and you get customers and they stay with you. You know, if they stay with us, we're doing the right thing. If we're losing people, we got a problem. We should address it like immediately. Now, like with me, I went from zombies to mermaids. So some of the zombie people came over and bought the mermaids book. Some of them didn't because they just weren't interested in that. And I don't blame them for that. You know, if I had zombie mermaids, you know, maybe I should have done one cover that was like a zombie, like a kind of a crossroads. Because it's crazy, but sort of like it may have been a good transition for those customers. I didn't think of it till now. But yeah, customers king. I mean, that's the number one thing we learn in crowd.
You could have a zombie in a little dinghy, and he's like hoisting a mermaid out of the water, eating her arm.
Oh yeah, it's got to be an arm thing.
Yeah.
That's got to be like my joke thing now. So if I do like the next thing I do, there's got to be like some chick's got to get her arm bitten off.
And you know, Kevin Feige.
Collector.
Yeah. Kevin Feige's thing is his homage to Star Wars is that everyone lost a hand in the second phase 2 of the Marvel movies. A bad guy always lost an arm. It's like, you know, when you think about it, yeah, I guess he did.
You can get like an homage like once maybe, but even that it's like a little indulgent. But everyone that's a bit much.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, that's
the thing is, like, I didn't even put that together, so.
Mr. Dinosaur, where can they find you at, sir?
I am at Dreaded Dinosaur on all the social medias. You can head over to my website, ERIKHODSON, erichodson.com. Check out my artwork, buy some prints, help me pay the rent. You can also click on the link to go to my webtoon. You can read Dreaded Dinosaur Man. Should have a new issue of that up on Webtoon soon, so that I can launch my crowdfunding book. And I'm hoping to do that in March to launch for that. Also, head over to ProWrestlingTees.com. Pick up Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Kilted Avenger. That book is for sale on the site right now, and we're almost out of the first printing. So you definitely want to get that first printing because it's collectible. Because we had to make some changes because of the licensing to the next book. So one character is dropping away and getting replaced. So that'll be a collector's item now. And next Monday, you can find me here on the Indie Vault Network with It Came from Webtoon, where my pal Michael Odin and we check out another great Webtoon that's not getting much exposure and give you some recommendations on what you should be reading.
Cool. And you guys, last night's episode was pretty good. Got pretty high numbers on that one too. I'm getting jealous, man. Getting jealous. I have to start invading your show, Mr. Zim.
Well, it's the kind of program that isn't being addressed right now. He's filling a great void there and pointing out some awesome sequential art as well.
Yeah, last night we talked about Gumshoe City, which is just 4 episodes in right now, and it's this great Dick Tracy film noir. You know, like the whole town is a bunch of like detectives. So he's like Brooklyn accents all over the place. People calling each other Mook. Hey, what do you want? Well, none of your business. Who's asking? You know, it's just wall to wall with that stuff. It's great.
JD was looking troubled there. No.
Randy, where can I find you at?
Hey, everybody, I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me under Twitter under Randy Zim. I also do the Zim Geek channel over on YouTube, though I don't contribute to it very often. So please go over there and like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. I swear there'll be more content coming up. I'm in the middle of doing a video now. Honest to God, I am. Other than that, we're doing the Indie Vault Live thing here. We'll be back Thursday morning. Varian and I will for the Breakfast Buzz. That's at 9 a.m. on Thursdays. And then my personal joy, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., I do what we call the Sunday Funnies, where we talk about the lighter and more whimsical side of comics and entertainment, just the stuff that we love. Golden Age books, underground books, funny animal books, just the stuff that's not the realistic and the heavy gore stuff. That's good entertaining stuff. So we hope to see you over there Sunday morning. This Sunday I have Brian K. Morris is going to be joining us, as well as, who knows, we might find a couple of other old farts, and we'll all sit around and talk about the comics that we love. So
everyone else is grabbing cats. I just stroke them.
There we go.
Didn't have anything else.
Stroke your
yeah. I will say this. You call it Sunday Funnies. I call it Meet the Press Comics Edition.
Sometimes we call it old farts sitting around talking too. So.
Yeah. Sometimes I've gone in there and I'm like, I'll be watching, like, are they really discussing this on Sunday Funnies? And I'll
yeah. Last Sunday got really crazy. So I talked to you after that and asked you if anybody had called in, because we went all over the place.
I'm like, I thought it was supposed to be lighthearted.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone, I'm Varian Grant. You can find me on social media at Varian Grant or KYD_V on Twitter. Last Call Comics is my publishing company. LastCallComics.com. You can go over and check that out. Of course, IndieVault.com, your place for all the independent comic book news that I can get people to write about. And then Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, LEDG.us, which is it's giving me all types of
hang on, keep talking. I'll find it.
It's giving me all types of IBS right now. But
there we are.
Yeah, there we go. It's one of those things where I bit off a big chunk of flavorful, chewy steak, and
this is why you were ramping up to this for a few years.
Yeah.
So what you're distributing comics?
It was going to be big.
Yeah, distributing comics to stores, and it's one of those things where Randy recently looked at me and said, "You bit off more than you can chew." I didn't know more to chew. It's like I have to delegate now, so I had to step back from running IndieVault.com. and to focus on Liberty because good things start happening over there. So yeah,
how many comic book stores do you have now? So
just crossed over 50 stores.
And it's going to snowball the more people that realize what you do. You get that first catalog out there and folks start talking, you're just going to grow.
Yeah.
So how do I get my book in on this catalog?
Yeah, you can just shoot me some information and I'll get back with you, and we even got a phone number I can call you, talk to you about how it works. It's a really unique system. Doesn't work like other distribution companies. It's totally different. But yeah, I'd be happy to talk to you guys about it. But thanks for you guys joining us tonight. Thanks for
Comics and More New Jersey stepping in just to say hello. Hello, we must be going.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome to the end.
Yeah. So let's get out of here, guys. We're gonna wrap up. You guys can of course stay in the back if you want to and chat. We're gonna get out for live here.
We should point out before you go that all of the Indie Volt podcasts are archived over on YouTube. So feel free to pop over there if you're walking in late. We've had a lively discussion. We're pressing 3 hours, which is about an hour longer than we normally do. But we had a couple of really great guests on, like Adam Post and Matt Campbell here. And deeply appreciate them showing up and stopping by and showing off their stuff. Not to mention JD.
At this point, JD
he's almost become a regular. So
yeah. At this point, JD might as well be a host.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Cast member. He's a cast.
Yeah,
member.
A cast member.
Yeah, cast member. Just like Disney. I don't have to pay him. It's a cast member.
You're paying people. What?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna do our closing segment. You guys can hang around if you want, but we're going off.
I gotta run.
Yep. Here we go.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, man.